food chain like back then. They were like the greatest kingdom to ever exist.
Yeah, I
They
mean
also and
it's
they also talk about Vegapunk having like a I don't know. It's weird. It could be devil fruit related. It could be
It's
his
almost like
science related.
it's
It
it's
doesn't
almost
necessarily need
like
to be
the the
science.
the period we in now, like shit regrets, and they was way ahead. Like Vegapunk, it was a
Or,
bunch of Vegapunks back then.
Yeah, seemed like it.
if you think about it, Pluton is like something that people can't normally construct because it's so technologically advanced. And why can't people do it today? Because maybe they regressed. It's like technology on a whole different level. Because it is a construct of science,
And
Pluton. Because
even
you
if you
can't
look
make
at it
it.
like this, the ancient kingdom, in my opinion, created devil fruits. We just in this generation getting artificial devil fruits. We just finally catching up to that creation.
Honestly, I think that void century was like a literal eradication of like every
Knowledge.
single thing. Yeah, knowledge, everything disappeared at that point in
That
time.
makes
Like people
sense.
regressed to the point where humanity restarted. That was how bad it was during that void century. That's why it's like for completely forbidden people to know what actually happened. I guess the world
That's what
government.
made me sick about this arc too. We have this elephant now running away with all this knowledge. And you understand that's a coward
The
move.
dude came in just to announce Luffy's Joy Boy and then bounced.
Real shit. That's
That
trolling.
was literally his whole purpose and her whole purpose.
That's trolling, bro. Like
yeah,
I
I
was
think that's
very
really
interested
mean
in that
too.
more than I was interested in the fight.
That Oda definitely that Nika thing was forced. I think
The,
personally,
I been saying that. That
it was
Nika
like
shit,
something Oda just
bro. Oda, this what
couldn't
Oda probably
let
do.
him.
Oda probably just he put some Nika shit in, but he put it in just to cover his ass, like in case he wanted to use it later. Because if he didn't use it, it wouldn't even matter.
Yeah, Oda is like he does that where
So
he
niggas could say,
lays
"Oh,
a lot of
you see how Oda
like great
mentioned the Sun God and
foreshadowing and stuff
Skypiea?
like that. Yeah. Oda does a lot of he plants a lot of things and he does that in a
Okay.
way so
He could
where he might use it or he might not use it.
Yeah. Okay.
If he
So
does
so
use it,
question
it's
though.
like foreshadowing.
Yeah. So but question though with this. So in terms of the Nika aspect of it and the actual power of the awakening itself, do you think one of them was at least set? For example, do you think the power that he envisioned for Luffy's sort of advancement in like
I mean,
his power,
yeah,
do you
the
think that
power.
was already set, or was
Yeah.
the Nika thing set?
see.
Yeah, I
The
think that was
power
in
was
place.
already set.
I think that was already set in
Was
place.
already set. Him manipulating the
I
floor,
think he
turning
had
it
that in
into
place
rubber.
from chapter one.
Him
You
turning
say
the
he had
floor into
Nika
rubber.
in
The
place
environment. I think that was
from
in place.
chapter one.
I don't know
The
about chapter
Just the
one,
power?
but
strength, like the abilities of what Luffy's able to do. I think he had that in place in chapter one.
I can see that.
Yeah, I could believe that. I could believe that. But
Yeah, I
the
can
only
see
thing
that.
I don't like is the fake mythology. That should rub me the wrong way, bro.
Oda is only doing that because like Nika thing is like the liberation warrior, and like that's what Luffy is, and he's trying to make his devil fruit more like, in
Relevant.
Luffy's personality. It's like the perfect devil fruit for him. Or I don't know, some of that
And
nature.
and
Anyways,
and
I will say this though, and I told Sean this, and I will say, so I do like, and it's definitely a retcon, so I'm not going to give throw Oda some bail, but I do like this theme here with the Zoan's personalities and abilities kind of crossing over to the regular person's abilities, kind of like how Luffy would talk about how he had to find a way to punch past Kaido's scales, which confused a lot of people because, like, wait, you were hitting that nigga in human form. Like, what are you talking about? Right? Or how Chopper in his regular form still retains the human intellect. I always found it interesting, way before this whole entire Nika revelation shit, where Luffy, before he ate the fruit, I don't know if y'all kind of realize it, but he was kind of a somewhat serious child, right? He was a bit of a serious child to where even Shanks was laughing at him, telling him to relax. And then after he ate the fruit, is when he started becoming a little more goofy and
Let
giggly
me ask you
as
a
he got older.
question. Let me ask you a question. You
Uh,
feel like Shanks didn't know what fruit this was?
It's a big
I'm
topic in the
50-50 with that.
community.
I'm 50-50 with it.
50
in
50 as
terms of
well. I
like the
don't
whole
know.
thing with Nika, or in terms of like the
Yeah,
ability of
Because
that
if
the
that's the
awakening.
Nika thing.
case, I believe Shanks going to the guard say about Luffy.
Mm.
I, I
Yeah, but then
don't.
how would he know that Luffy is about to awaken it? You know, like that doesn't make sense in terms of.
Maybe he knows like Luffy is like the. Well, I don't know. He bet himself on Luffy being the chosen one, though. Remember?
Well, yeah, but why that timing? Like, why would he know that this is about to happen? It's not like he has any insight unless there's like someone spying
That's true.
on,
That's true. That's true.
Luffy and the
We
Beast
do
Pirates.
also know. Maybe he's aware of because you remember what the Gorosei said about that fruit. He said it almost has a mind of its own, and it
That is
perhaps
true.
because it has a mind of its own, it chooses who it tries to choose who it thinks it's
That makes
compatible with.
sense. That makes
When
sense.
Luffy ate the fruit, Shanks was like, "Yo, the fruit just chose Luffy. I'm gonna bet on on this kid being the next Nika. Could be a possibility. I feel like
Y'all don't
That
recognize y'all
don't make it
y'all
too special.
y'all don't recognize Nika is just older saying nigga. Like it's like a cover for like nigga.
essentially
Yeah.
it's for the fan
Bro,
base
be
to use
real, bro.
the N word.
Be real. You have this dude dancing, the slave, the freer slaves. That's older version of like Django Unchained or some shit like that.
Mm.
Nah, there he definitely stole it from and shout out to all the fans who were doing their research and shit like that to where like he stole it from Caribbean culture. There was a dude who
Oh,
was
Caribbean, yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
saw
it was
that.
Caribbean
Yeah, the
culture. I
Joy
think it
Boy,
was like
whatever.
Haitian or something like that to where
Yeah.
there was a dude, a slender, you know, Afro Caribbean person who kind of had a moniker of Joy Boy. He used to always beat his drums and free all the fellow slaves and everything like that back in the ancient times and shit. So I was like, okay,
Let
so
me
hold
ask
up.
you a question. You feel like no, I that's dumb. That's dumb. No. This
What?
is a good question. You feel like Luffy more because he more yeah he beat a Yonko, but you feel like Luffy more accomplished than Dragon in terms of like right now like his legacy he more accomplished than Dragon. He do more stuff.
I have no idea. They don't give us
Based
much of
I
Dragon.
based
I don't
on
think
what we
so.
know, yes. What we
No,
know as of
I
right.
disagree with that one.
No,
So
like
wait,
based on
so
what we've seen in the story so far.
okay, wait, so based on what Oda has shown us, the readers, yes,
Yeah,
but
based
based
yes,
on
yes.
what, well, but I want to be very particular here. Based on the exact scenes that we've seen in the exact panels that has been drawn, right? Yes,
Yeah.
but based on the story that Oda has told and what we can infer from it, no. So there are some things that we know about Dragon, but we don't know the specifics
So
about
another
that
question.
until
When
niggas say
Luffy
no.
and Dragon
So
meet, you believe Luffy can be stronger than Dragon?
you see, so
Mm,
Depending
I
on
have
when they
Dragon as
meet,
the strongest
maybe.
character, but
Uh,
it's like it's a toss up in the air. Like I don't know how strong he is at all, but I do think he is stronger than Kaido and Shanks and all of them because of
but
just the fact that he's the most wanted and he's like leading this charge for the future, even more so than Luffy. But it depends on when they will meet. If they meet right before the start of the war against the Marines, then I'll probably say they're more or less equal, and I wouldn't be surprised if Luffy is stronger. Uh, but I don't really have like a strong opinion. I'll still think Dragon is the strongest because of just who he is, but I don't know.
and you always know the dad is
I
the
looking at
strongest.
honestly, I looking at
Opponent.
Garp legacy, and I looking at Luffy legacy, and I gotta have some faith in what the fuck Oda got for Dragon, like what he doing and stuff like that, because this whole family tree accomplished.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think would be more disappointing than Dragon not being strong at all in terms of the story of One Piece? Like
What would be
what
the
would
most
be more
disappointing
disappointing?
to me when it comes to Dragon
It
is
strong
so
at
the
all.
most fascinating thing to me with Dragon was said a while back where I think it was Robin. Yes, it was Robin who said this when Garp first told Luffy who his father was, right? And Robin was saying most people, when interacting with the Marine slash world government, they try their best to kind of like stay away from that, right? Whereas Dragon directly antagonizes the world government. And the gravity of that is so crazy because we see somebody in the Odin flashback, like Whitebeard. Whitebeard is in his prime. He has Odin on his crew. He's got a few good niggas on his crew. They're pretty decently strong, right? And Whitebeard sees a marine battleship, right? And Odin's like, "Yo, let's fight them." And Whitebeard's like, "Nah, we gonna go this way, right?" And Odin was self-narrating. He's saying like, "That's the first time that I learned from my captain that there are bigger threats than what I had imagined, right? Because the world government ain't no joke." And just a simple fact that this man directly antagonizes that said threat that everybody is afraid of, just has me thinking like, okay, this guy has to be, he's got to be that guy, right? I mean, how's he
Um,
not dead if he's not? You know what I mean?
well, kind of.
What would
So
disappoint me
with the
most
example that
about
you gave, I
Dragon?
think is a bit it's a bit more complex than that because in terms of antagonizing the world government, I don't think Dragon goes out there to terrorize Marines out there in the sea, right? It's more so his direct uh, opposition is to the head of the world government, the Celestial Dragons to be specific. And the real thing that he's against is the way in which they kind of run the world with the slaves and whatnot, right? And all the corrupt things that they do. That's really what he's against. What he's not against is, I mean, technically, what he's not against is Akayuno, someone like Akayuno. I don't think Dragon cares about Akayuno,
I
even though he
think
has this
I, I
investment in
think
her,
what
right?
Dragon I think what Dragon don't
Obviously,
like
about the
about
world.
the what
Oh,
the Celestial Dragons, in my opinion, is I feel like Dragon might have a problem with the fact that you could inherit uh that type of
Or
power and you don't do nothing to deserve it and earn it from the people. You understand? And
mm,
and the
Yeah,
most
yeah.
more so about like yeah,
the most
I feel you.
disappointing thing with Dragon Meat would be for me if the nigga was evil. Like he had personal
Oh, dragon cannot be evil.
motives and
Well, that,
shit.
yeah,
Based
but
on
that
what we
at
know.
that point, that would be like a story shattering type revelation. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Because I look at
it's
that,
different
well, one
things.
second. I look at that empty throne and something but that just, I, I don't know. I just have a picture in my head of the nigga sitting, trying to sit on
Dragon
that.
wants that chair.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yo, that's
honestly, I've heard of the Shanks evil story. That one I believe way more than Dragon ever being evil. That doesn't even
Bro,
that's never
I
crossed
look at the
my mind,
shit
honestly,
what,
to this
I
day.
look at the shit what Sabos do to niggas. How he's violate niggas. Like, Sabos look almost like an evil nigga, bro. Like, Do Flamingo
Yeah,
almost
but
when he
who
fight.
though? It's really only to Burgess. That's it. Like who else has he done that to?
Nigga do it to Bastille. Nigga, he ain't do it to, he can,
that evil
I
nature
mean,
only
okay,
came out because
okay.
it was as a personal thing,
that's
right?
true, that's
Because
true, that's true,
he was a
that's
part of
true,
the crew that murdered his brother. Yeah,
that's true.
yeah. That empty throne thing is interesting because I know Rocks for certain. That was the position that he was looking
Oh
for.
man, I would love to talk about rocks because I feel like rocks. We get a lot of hints about rocks, and a lot of
But we
people
didn't get
don't.
anything
A lot
new
of
like
people don't
that.
talk. Don't talk about rocks like that.
We don't have anything on dude, bro. It's so vague.
We do actually.
We have a bit, but it's nothing substantial.
We have enough, bro. We have enough to
Yeah,
make to make
yeah. I mean, we
a
can make
conclusion.
theories and
To me,
whatnot.
rocks was an evil dude because you looking at
you
it
said he
from.
was or he was not?
No, he was not an evil dude
Okay.
because you're looking at just Big Mom and Kaido, but White Bear ain't a evil dude, and White Bear ain't a dumb dude. You understand?
Agreed.
I feel like
No, I
rocks.
agree with
I feel like based off the structure of the rocks pirates, we could look at the Black Bear pirates and Black Bear. So the structure was similar to Black Bear crew in that he just put these dudes together for his motive, whether it was evil. Well, I don't believe it was evil, but he just put them together and he used them. And there's a lot of betrayal in the crew because these niggas didn't really care about each other. But I don't feel like he
Yeah, but
was.
that's what
like Blackbeard's crew.
like Black Vet's
Oh,
crew.
that'd be a, oh, okay, that's different. Okay.
Yeah, I don't feel like Rox was an evil person, bro. I feel like the story wants you to believe that that's Marine propaganda, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Because the God Valley thing, like, there's a that whole God Valley thing is crazy because situation there was like it almost seems like they were almost at a point where they could have ruled the world if they took over God Valley. Like Roger and Garp were like were desperate them to form an alliance together. It's like that was an act of desperation where yeah we need to take these guys out or they're gonna become too powerful.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even think that was enough necessarily. I do think the reason why that all
You
unfolded
believe he was evil?
in that way.
Infighting.
Oh,
No,
he's
I just think that it was there was
Infighting.
betrayal within the Rocks crew. That's
Infighting.
why.
Yep.
that's what has been
Yeah,
hinted.
that's why. Yeah, because there's no way. Even it doesn't matter how strong Roger is. It doesn't matter if he's Nika himself, right? Hey, well, maybe that's the exception. If he was like equal in power or whatnot, but the original one, not Luffy. Then maybe, but I doubt it. Like it doesn't matter really how realistically strong Roger was. I do think there was infighting, and mainly Whitebeard. I think he's the only one that needs to drop for it to be like a okay as a wrap.
I think Big Mom and Kaido weren't even as strong back then.
Yeah, but I do think that it was a tag team against Rocks. There's
Oh
no
yeah,
way
yeah,
one.
I agree. I agree. I think Roger
Yeah,
and Garb actually tag teamed the dude, and the rest kind of like backstab each other.
yeah, because I mean
Maybe
Rayleigh is there as well, so Rayleigh might
Rayleigh,
have cost somebody, right?
Goku might
And
have
I'm
been
pretty
there.
sure the
Don't know. Like
who?
Goku,
Oh, Goku?
Even if
Goku.
Goku.
I feel like even if Rox had a little,
Yeah.
I feel like even if Rox had a little evil in him, I feel like is a lot of is every character have gray areas with them,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I
they ain't
think it's
hundred
gray area.
percent evil. Just like I
Yeah,
don't
I
feel
feel like
like I don't feel like the Gores say 100. I don't feel like they evil at all like that. I feel like they trying to protect the world from for, everything they do is
Collapsing.
for the greater good, like the
Yeah.
greater
yeah,
picture.
for sure, because there is no way, unless Shanks is evil, that Shanks would really associate it with them like that. If you're evil, you know what I'm saying? Even the Celestial Dragons, they're good ones in there, right? So it's one of those things where you got to be careful to kind of cast this whole, you know, sort of light to say that oh, one whole group is evil like that, right?
So,
I mean,
wait,
looking at
wait.
the
So, in terms of the Revolutionary Army, they should have an evil nigga in that too.
yeah, but I feel like that would go so against what
Because
it even stands
no,
for.
because
Well, evil is a different word. Like I wouldn't use evil. There's probably a guy who is just so frustrated with the state of the world that there will be like Akayuno, right? There will be this person that will use bad means to achieve. It pretty much be like a Rocks kind of guy. I wouldn't be surprised if Rocks was a good guy, but he just was willing to go the extra step. He
yeah,
was willing to do
Rocks had that
that people.
extreme type of probably personality where he just go
Yeah,
overboard.
exactly. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's someone like that, but I wouldn't say flat
And
out evil. Like evil, when I
you don't know these niggas past, bro. You don't know if Rocks was a slave. You understand? We don't know these shit.
In one of the Viver cards, it said that if Dragon's past is like so crazy that I forget what it said, but like they said something about his past being like
Yeah,
being
but
like
I
a
don't trust
crazy
them Viva
secret.
cards like that. But I can believe it.
Oh yeah, I mean Dragon, he looks like a Shandian. Might have been a slave at a certain point.
yeah. Do you think Dragon could have been a
Dragon
bad
can't
guy?
be no slave, bro. Being Gob, unless that nigga ain't real Gob, real child. But he can.
So he was
One of
adopted. But the question, like, do you think Dragon could have been at God Valley to witness some of the stuff? How
Dragon
old was Dragon back then? Was he even born?
was
He was
four,
15,
he
14.
was young.
15.
He was really young back then.
I mean, isn't that Kaido's age back then? How old was Kaido back then?
It was like he was an apprentice. He was like 16, 17 as well.
Kaido's
Yeah,
21.
But
I
I
think
feel like I feel like
yeah,
Dragon
Kaido's 21.
Dragon probably is right behind Garp and shit like that, like on them in God Valley, like a vice admiral probably, like one of the
He
upcoming. Just like how you have the worst generation now, you probably had the worst generation type of super vice admirals who was on the verge of
A 15-year
promotion.
old vice admiral, like
Huh?
the 15-year-old vice admiral, or 14, like a pretty
Yeah,
much a below.
like the vice admirals with the most potential of the bunch. I don't
Okay,
feel like the dude was an admiral because the way they describe, unless Oda doing shit, the way they describe, they act like they don't have no information or they don't know where this nigga come from, and that don't make sense to me.
doesn't make sense. If you're an admiral, you're public knowledge.
You understand? They know everything
I
about
would
our
still
kid.
say 0.
Hmm?
but it could be the case that the public does know, but Oda is simply not showing it to us. Just like the way
So
Oda is not showing us why anyone is asked about Zoro's eye, even though it could be the case that they've talked about it, right? Or maybe not.
Well,
but
It's just
I
that
think
would
again,
that's a
make
little
it's
it
bit
all about.
different. I think it's a little bit different in case of Zoro's eye because with Zoro's eye, although as annoying as it is for us not to hear them talk about it, there are pirates, right? Like Luffy has a gargantuan sized scar on his chest, and them niggas do not pay attention to that shit at all and say, Luffy, what happened to you, sir? They don't care about that stuff at all because you're a pirate like. Whereas when it comes to Dragon, like I said, we're pretty much at the end game of the series now. And for nobody, not a citizen, not a supernova, not a celestial dragon, not a marine, not a pirate, not an OG, not a civilian, nobody to ever mention like, yo, you remember that nigga Drake?
No,
yeah.
but
I think
Yeah, but what context would that like happen in? You know what I'm saying? Like
honestly
it's
though, it's clear that niggas know him though because I look at Akinu
exactly. But this
alone. Akinu look like the
Akainu
they
was
know the dude personally. Like they really have beef, real beef though. Like
Akainu
but
was
it
going
might
after
not.
Luffy like
even
dragon
even
literally.
even even Gecko Maria look like he know the dude because Gecko Maria had a certain reaction to Dragon name. Like this nigga.
Bruh, every every big cat in
Everybody
one
knows him.
knew
Yeah,
about dragon.
every knows. Yeah,
Everyone who is of importance knows about dragon,
yeah. But
and pretty much his status, right?
I think he did something in the past where it's public knowledge, but we haven't gotten the news of that yet.
Exactly, because Oda is just hiding it. Simple as that. Just like the reason why no one talks about Roger like that. I mean, he's the Pirate King, right? But Oda will just show us. Well, he was the Pirate King. Shows
Like
us what he wants
Dragon
to
being a
show us.
marine is like a huge thing. He was a
Yeah,
marine. I mean,
yeah, and actually, guess what? Why did no one talk about Big Mom and Oh, okay. I guess it's like it's not common knowledge necessarily with the rocks
yeah, the
thing.
rocks thing they got it. They got like the anything about rocks was eradicated from history.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. So that one makes sense.
Because all the older
I heard some
But
hearing like back just now. Like someone's mic was I don't know.
yeah, I heard that too for like a split second. But yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm not
mean
too surprised.
I mean I feel like we should have gone I think a lot of people were expecting rocks formation like some not even any of it like the entirety of it just a bit of it
Or
with
like
Kaido.
background.
Yeah, like a little bit of the rocks information in the Kaido flashback,
the
but
entirety of it just
Kaido flashback we when we got it we already knew like how the stuff that was shown there we kind of already you can already guess based on several things we saw before. So I feel like that flashback we got with Kaido there was kind of redundant,
Yeah.
which
Oh
is
no,
why
I think
that's
it was nice.
necessary.
it was nice seeing Kaido being younger, but a lot of the things you
Yeah.
can yeah
Well, but also the specific reason why we knew he was disgruntled with the the world government, like the world in general. But the specific
yeah
reason was because he was actually what like he wasn't a slave, but what was he?
'cause,
He's like a fighter
He
for
was military.
yeah
yeah
he was like
military, and then I guess the world government the experiments, which we already knew, kind of I think.
yeah
But I guess the
Kaido
specific situation, I enjoyed it. I would say, but
Kaido Pass was in
it
was
wasn't
in
anything.
Kaido Boss ain't hit for me, bro, like that. Like I was
Not at
expecting
all.
all that crying and shit. What he's put down, I thought he going through something serious.
But that
But
is
Nope.
something though. Like, he was a kid, and I don't know. I feel like that was something.
it was underwhelming. I would
It was
definitely say it
rush.
wasn't.
Yeah, for sure.
Though Flamingo get
It
all
was
that
rushed for
time for
sure.
his flashback, he get a good
Oh
Big
yeah,
Mom.
that's true.
I like Big Mom's flashback.
Big Mom flashback
Yeah. Oh
legit,
yeah,
Big
Big
bro.
Mom's
Mom's
flashback
was
was a
nasty.
lot. Had like
Yeah, Big
five,
Mom was.
6 chapters.
Yeah, that was. I like Big
That's
Mom.
why I say I
Kaido's
That was
question.
Kaido
dope.
Kaido's
That's
was
why I
what, half a
question
chapter.
if something really wrong with Oda, bro. Like I feel like this dude ain't right now, cause this don't make sense to me.
This break probably help him out a little bit because I think he's
He really
focused
need it.
on.
I really don't care if he take 2 months. He need it, bro.
Yeah,
Because
he needs
I
a break.
rather the story be good than you understand than this.
Especially now where the series is entering like its finale. You have to hit those marks. You have to get those good executions out. You can't,
That niggas don't like
you
writing this
know.
shit no more.
Yeah,
I
you,
mean,
you definitely want to end it on a good note, tying all
no,
off
yeah,
the good loose ends. I'm pretty sure not
yeah.
everything will
That's
be covered.
So when
But
y'all
in
feel
terms
like
of
y'all feel like during this thing and break, we gotta see Vegapunk, right?
I think
Huh?
we're getting closer to seeing him.
We have to see Vegapunk, bro. Like you know,
I'm not as excited as like
Oh, once we
looking
get
at
to
Judge.
SSG,
I'm not as
maybe.
excited as Vegas.
no,
Oh
but
no, no,
Judge
no.
didn't
But
ever
Judge
have
is
no.
not.
You can't compare
Judge
no
is not
Judge
a
to no
compare.
Vegapunk.
Yeah, you can't compare Judge to
Well,
Vegapunk.
I'm not saying they're the same. I'm just saying that like I'm not really holding up my
Hey, I don't
You're
expect the
using you're
dude
using
to
Judge
be.
as a standard, bro.
I expect info dumps from
I
Vegapunk.
mean,
That's why I want to see him. I want to learn the how
Dude
Devil Fruits
has
is
so
work
much
and different
knowledge,
stuff
bro.
like
Like,
that.
And
that
then
is
even in speaking about Judge, right? Even though Judge himself, his character is kind of like underwhelming and stuff like that, I do like the stuff surrounding Judge because looking at his boy Sanji, right, to where in the revelation of Wano, we find out, or I'm sorry, it hasn't been confirmed yet, but we can all see the massive hints that Sanji has been imbued with what's King's race called again?
Lunarians.
Lunarians. Yeah, he's been imbued with Lunarian DNA, and like this Lunarian DNA has him, you know, setting himself on fire and not getting hurt and everything like that. And it kind of ties back to just Zoan Devil Fruits as a whole, right? Because like
This old Sanji thing, this Ifrit Jambe shit. Diablo Jambe is bullshit. You upgrade, basically upgrade bullshit. Like that, the nigga never explained Diablo Jambe, Hell's Memories, and now you upgrade, you turn it blue, you turn the bullshit blue. Like, bro, the niggas telling me this legit. Niggas,
Oh, what about Ashura? Like,
these shit. This my problem, right? With these type of powers. These powers only exclusive to Strahds. Like no other niggas. Well, you better use this kid or killer version of these shit. What they doing?
hmm.
I
You understand what I saying? Be fair with it,
yeah.
bro.
mean, Killer's
With
got the
kid,
whole
the only thing with kid we
wait,
get
wait. What about the whole sound shit with Killer? That didn't make no sense.
no, that didn't make
So
sense. That didn't make
that's from
sense,
his weapon.
That didn't make no. It was
His,
cool as shit, but it
That-
didn't make no fucking sense.
oh, it made sense.
bro. Killer,
How?
hey,
The sound waves
Killer
radiantly
work
like.
his way up into people.
How that nigga make it sound waves? How he do
People
it?
wasn't
Oh,
even
there's like a technology built into that thing in his arm.
See, here you go.
no because the
Wait, but then
blades
how the
moving
sound
so
make any sense with
fast that
fire?
hey, but Killer work his way up in the people favorites list for the supernovas. So Killer
Yeah,
didn't
he
have no
did,
respect.
man. I was a surprise showing from him. I did not expect to get that big of a showing from Killer, man. He really showed out.
The nigga who
From his
disappointed me the
Honestly,
most, the nigga who
not from
disappointed me
his
the
form
Kid,
most
even.
was
kid,
Eustace Kid and Killer
Yeah,
kid.
and Drake.
yeah.
no,
Drake
but
was
I feel like Kid uh silenced a lot of people towards the end there. Like some of the Kid
Huh?
haters kind of went down towards the end. Um, but in,
What'd
in
you
the
say?
beginning, definitely like towards the end, he
I think he
silenced a
showed
little
off
bit.
at the end there with that
Bro, that
whole
wasn't
Um,
shit.
Eustace.
no.
It
So
wasn't
here's my thing. I love Kid, right? Like he was one of my favorite characters pre Wano, and when I saw that we were getting him a Wano, I was so excited. I'm like, I've been waiting to see this nigga, get some really panel time for like a long ass time now, right? And my thing is his strength wise, he's more or less where I thought he would be, which is not the issue at all. The issue I have with Kid is he is very, in my opinion,
Boring
very
fighting style.
lackluster in the way he goes about fighting and kind of like his ambitions. Like for instance, when they first rolled up on Kaido for the, as y'all call it, the roof piece fight, right? And Luffy hits Kaido with Red Rock, right? And Kid is confused as fuck. And then somebody, I think it was Zoro, had to break it down to him like, oh yeah, that's Rio, to where you affect somebody from the inside. He's like, oh, for real? Bet. And I'm like, Kid, what the fuck? Like, what are you gonna do then? Like, just that type of shit. And then like when he fights Big Mom, which was a good fight. I really, really enjoyed that fight, right? You know, I'm not like we're not on the side of people who was really overhyping Law to the full extent. However, Law shit was cool, bro. Law shit was really cool
The
to watch as
Law
well.
has
Yeah,
imagination.
Law
You know my problem with Kid, right? My problem with Kid
was
is if the nigga you was quiet and this sorry, I wouldn't have a question. His mode too big and he lackluster. He's make too much noise. His attack
Law?
base,
Oh, kid. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
his attack base, it's stale, bro. For magnetism, it's stale.
Very,
The
very.
most impressive and
All
creative
he
thing I
does is
see with Kid, what
bullshit.
I was really impressed with was not that ray gun. I didn't like the shit what he do with the bull, where he connect Big Mom to the wall, pin her
Oh,
down,
yeah.
and use that shit was very creative. That's the type of stuff I wanted to see with him. But the only thing we get was Gear Third, Metal. Everything Luffy could do, he was doing. Right? It was
Give
yeah,
boring.
Yeah.
but Kid suffers from what made most side characters suffer from, like not a lot of screen time to kind of go into his development. So again, it's all about expectations and what really Oda can show with Kid, right? I understand you can say Law, but Law Oda has showed
Bro,
him a
Law was
while,
the
so we
shit
can't
this arc,
really.
bro.
Like,
Yeah, but
Sean, you got
it's very rare that you'll be impressed by characters like that. I mean, even Killer, yeah, people were impressed with the sound stuff, but it's like it wasn't really that much, like in comparison to Luffy with his
think
new form and
people.
Zoro with
no, no,
what
Yeah.
he
no, no,
gets.
no, no. And this is where I disagree. This is where I disagree. When you have Killer, right? The reason why people are so impressed with Killer is
Because
because
the
Killer is under
expectations.
Kid, right? So he even like he's a side character to a side character, right? Yet when we were fighting Kaido, right, on the rupee shit and everything like that, and I'm looking at everybody like, okay, everybody's gonna have to come up with creative ways to hit him. I know Law's gonna do the whole entire internal destruction like he did Doflamingo. Zoro already knows the Rio from Wano because he was trained by Wano people. Luffy learning shit. Kid, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. And then you have Killer. So I'm like, okay, Killer, what you got for us? Like, why are you here? And then he does the Scyther Sonic shit. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? And then he has the moment against Hawkins, and it's like,
Facts, facts,
okay,
facts.
when we see Kid, right? And again, I am not of the people who are like, Law is way stronger than Kid. No, the fuck he's not. Obviously, they're on the same level. But it's just the lack of creativity. I grew up watching the X-Men, right? I've seen what Magneto has done with that shit. It is
But
amazing.
you guys are looking at this from like final version of Kid. Like, this is the first showing of his ability. Like, this is the first time we've actually seen him fight. So it's like we saw a bit of it here, but I think it's only going to get better from now on.
But
Yeah,
again,
but
so we ain't gonna see him again
And
for a while.
it's a
And
first
also,
show.
on the fact,
Yeah, I don't.
this is a high level kid. Like this is a kid who
He
was good
talks a
enough
lot,
to
but
a Yonko.
but at the end of the day, they put a Yonko down. I mean,
yeah, that is true.
that magnetism is no joke though. Like the physical aspect of it, where Big Mom was
Yeah,
like dodging
the brute
the
force is
attack.
crazy.
Yeah, it's like stronger than Gear 4 from like based
Yes,
on
it is.
what we
It
saw.
is.
Yeah,
It is. I'm glad you noticed that because a lot of people were not giving him credit. Everybody was
yeah.
saying, like, "Oh, Law's the only one hurting her." I'm like, "Nigga, obviously not." If he keeps contributing with them, Kid is literally before Luffy went Gear 5. Kid was literally the only person who had enough I don't want to call it physical strength because he's using his powers, but I guess physical strength to actually harm somebody without having to use a great degree of hockey, which is impressive.
I mean, what was he doing
You said?
Using weight.
with the magnetism? It wasn't just like a bunch of pinnings and like
Oh,
throwing objects.
it's like the force of the magnetism
Bro,
is like so great.
to me,
It's like physically imposing.
I'm debating the potency of kid attacks. I debating the creativity,
Activity, yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah. I
That's
know.
it. The dude boring. He's stale.
But like
Yeah,
again,
that's
Sean,
true.
this is the first time we've seen him, bro. First time. Law
Yeah,
we had Law and what was it? Punk Hazard, Trust Rosa. We got a
Bro.
clear glimpse of his
But the
abilities, and
fact
then we
that
had
yeah,
okay,
Law,
but
okay, the fact that
this is the second character
the
thing, though.
degree of the caliber opponent they going up against
up
should
against, yeah.
warrant attacks with more your best shit. You understand?
Yeah, but I think
You hitting us with the
Wait, but
slave
this was
auction
their
host
best.
attacks.
Nah, but this was his best, I think. Right? Is they have to go all out. It's just again
Yeah, it was.
the way
It
that
just was
Oda
going
is
wrong.
kind of short. Yeah, this is just his style. Like I don't know. Maybe you just don't like his
yeah,
style. Right? I mean, not
and
everyone
like
is gonna
he
be
has
with
to
Magneto.
his fruit is like he needs construct of metal around him. Like and he creates like things, I don't know, it's his ability is weird and it definitely can get stronger, but
Boring.
it's is it even magnetism? Was
I
that
didn't like his
confirmed or is it just
awakening though. To be fair,
his awakening with the symbols
assignment.
sign, yeah, and sign and yeah,
Yeah, that was
that's
nice actually.
nasty though
I didn't
actually
like his
because
awakening. I didn't like Law Awakening was nasty, bro.
Oh,
Law's
Law
awakening
is
is
literally
But I don't understand the
That was interesting.
explanation for that shit though. I just accept it. I don't know what
I
his
the
do.
awakening. His awakening is essentially like different versions of rooms. That's what I got. He has rear room, which he can remove the noise. Has the other room, which is like what was the other room actually?
Chrome.
Room. Yeah,
That's
he could
basically
infuse his room in his blade,
Chrome is
like
cook
do
because
things.
this blade named Kokoku, so it's Kokoku room like Chrome.
Yeah. I think his awakening allows him to use different rooms that have different properties. But essentially, he can have a room that can do anything, remove air, room that can, I don't know, like create fire. That's what I'm
Because
getting from
I mean it makes sense because it's the operation it ain't
operation fruit.
saying his
Yeah,
room have to be medical base.
doesn't
He
have to be
just have the
medical. It could be
room fruit.
anything. Could be anything.
I just
So his awakening made sense to me because I always attribute it back to like when I saw like Doflamingo and Katakuri and they had Paramecias. I'm like, okay, so are all the Paramecias going to kind of follow this theme? And when I seen Law, at first it confused me because I was like, what the fuck is this? But then it made sense because if you look at his regular room, right, before he awakens, he creates his little blue sphere and then he can make it get smaller or bigger. And then whatever's in that sphere, he can do whatever crazy techniques to you and you just at his mercy unless you knock him the fuck out, right? So that's his basis. We could all agree on that, right?
Yeah.
So when he does the awakening, it was the sword that I saw kept changing side. It was no longer the spear anymore. It was his sword. And I was like, oh shit. Okay, so this is what they were talking about with Katakuri and Doflamingo, to where it said the fruit affects objects now,
Mm.
not just you. So like, so instead of him creating a sphere, he decides to put the spear on an object. The object is the sword. So now the sword is the thing that changes in size, not the sphere. So to
Yeah.
me, it made sense.
It's like he has like different applications. I think it's just the awakening is like a literal upgrade to his base form. Like he can do a lot more things because the re room where he removed the noise or is it air? I forget what it was.
but
That was
Um,
I didn't get how he's
it was
talking
the
about all.
cafe room.
Oh, he was talking about the blade of the penetrate and then he got to get it deeper and shit like that. Like
yeah.
That was
You
sexual.
do know he created that fucking hole where big. You guys
but
saw how huge that
but
thing was?
what benefit that of going deep into the ground like that? Like it it
I
pretty, but
think
I trying to see the benefit. Like what it do.
because the shockwave actually went to make that hole. think Sean, I think that shockwave. I think the longer he makes it, more powerful the shockwave
Yeah,
becomes.
But ain't like Big Mom at the end of the tip. Well, he
Oh no,
generate.
no, it starts at the top and it goes to the bottom. So that explosion that we saw at the bottom was what went through Big Mom's body.
yeah,
Right?
She tanked that shit.
yeah.
You see?
And also,
That
you
was
gotta think about it again with the application of his regular devil fruit before the awakening. You see, when
mm,
Law was on Punk Hazard, right? Law made that big ass, huge ass room to fight against Virgo, and then he swung on Virgo, and not only did he cut Virgo in half, but he cut the entire mountain chasm in half as well, right?
yeah.
One of the
He
great feats that everybody likes to see in One Piece.
he
So
broke
Law
the
did that shit.
gas.
The reason why, yeah, he broke the gears. The reason why Law was able to cut so big and so powerful is because he made his room that much bigger, right? So therefore, the slash was that much stronger that it can count and it could cut a mountain range in half. So now that we know that, you now have to apply that to the awakening, like Anima and Pharaoh were saying, to where he applied the room to an object. The object was his sword. The sword can now increase in size, just like his room can increase in size. If his room can increase in size and his slash gets bigger, then we must then apply that same logic to when his sword gets longer. If the regular
Mm,
sword and he does a shock Willie, I think it was
yeah,
called,
Shock Willie, yeah.
shock Willie, and it hurt her at a regular size. Okay, let's increase the size of the room, which is the
Yeah.
sword now. Remember, this is awakening. It's an object that we're affecting. So now the sword, he's constantly making the sword longer. In this case, the room is getting bigger. Therefore, the bigger the
Shockwaves
room, the bigger the
is
attack. So
yeah.
therefore, that's why he stuck in
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
creativity
Bruce.
on
I get it now. I understand. The bigger the
there
room,
you go.
the more dangerous the attack can be.
Yeah,
I get it. So if
yeah,
he applying it to the sword, the bigger the sword, because the sword coated in the room, then the attack
yes,
can be massive, more massive.
yes.
And
There you go.
that's why I drain everything he have, because he used everything making that room that size, making the sword that size. And
Size, yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah,
makes
because if
sense.
you remember when he
The
fought
shockwave.
Doflamingo, remember when he fought Doflamingo on the Council Top Dressrosa thing, he said like, "Yo, I'm pretty much cutting my lifespan by making this room so big to fight you." Remember when he said that?
Yep.
Yep.
I wonder if it's just because of his stamina itself, or this devil fruit actually just takes so much from him. Because I wonder how that is in comparison to someone like
It's the
Luffy's.
devil fruit. Devil fruit like places a toll on your spirit or your probably stamina. And like I think if Luffy would be tired if he used it as well.
I
Yeah,
mean, we've seen Luffy get tired. Nigga literally fizzed out.
Luffy doesn't
yeah,
have any
but Luffy always
stamina
comes back
beast.
though.
But Luffy doesn't have any. Well, I guess Gear
Like,
Fourth is
He's also
the.
a zone.
yeah,
He's
oh yeah,
also a
that is
zone
true.
as well. Yeah,
I guess now the zoning thing kind of makes us
applies to
rethink
him.
everything else, right?
Yeah.
That shit
So
sucked
people are
up.
going back to the
Retcon,
Katakuri
baby.
and it makes sense
Retcon.
that Luffy was able to tank Katakuri for that long.
Yeah, yeah, because that's also another thing. Uh,
Like, yeah, I mean the whole Nika thing. I mean, it is what it is. Oda's just trying to add in some lore. Luffy's legend, and it's funny because
I
like
get
it
it.
seems like that's Joy Boy's Devil Fruit. Is that like the consensus now?
It
Yes.
seemed to me that it was the case.
Seems
Yeah,
to be yeah, Joy
Yes.
Boy's fruit. Yeah.
Yes.
So
that's why Zunisha was
yeah, it's Joy
so
Boy. Yeah. But what
Yeah.
if? Yeah, yeah, that's probably it.
Yep. It's Joy Boy's for or sorry, whoever Joy Boy. Let me
That's the thing
be
about it.
precise. Whoever Joy Boy was 300 years ago.
no
Yeah,
Probably
because
Joy
that
Boy
good
the
point,
title
Bruce.
the
name.
Bruce,
Joe Boy could be a
good point.
title.
Because I don't believe Joy Boy is the name of a person. I believe Joy Boy just the name of the
I do
Messiah,
too.
like the
Yeah.
I used to think that, but not anymore. For some
because
reason.
Wait, how did Zunisha refer to Joy Boy as? Was it like, hey, I'm waiting for Joy Boy? Like it seemed like it was an actual person though, right? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah. No, Joy Boy was an actual person, but I think Joy Boy was the nickname to the person that Zunisha knew
exactly, yeah.
800 800 years ago.
Okay, so
Because
it's
if
more
you
of a
look at this last chapter, right? This last chapter that we just read, you heard the people talking about like, "Yo, did you hear about the person who beat Kaido?" Yeah, I
Exactly.
heard it was a nigga named Joy Boy. He saved
It,
us, and we all know his
it's
name is Luffy.
Luffy. That's
Oh,
exactly what I thinking.
all right. Okay, so it's a nickname which I think I'm more willing to
It's an
accept than like
epithet.
a title.
Yep.
Okay,
yeah,
okay, but
Yeah.
it's not a title because people are saying some other theories that it may have been like a title for maybe someone of a specific stature, right?
you could
It's an
view it
epithet, bro.
Yeah,
as
It's like
like
the nigga
I would say it's an unofficial.
the nigga who he probably had a real name like Sakazuki or some shit,
Jinx,
and they just gave him the name Joy
Jinx.
Boy because he's make people smile. Like he just was joyful and he's like, but it's his
well, I
Also,
mean,
nickname.
look at the fruit, right? Like, look at Luffy when he awakened. We can clearly see why somebody would call Luffy Joy Boy. This nigga keeps cackling like he's on cocaine. Like, you know what I'm saying?
for sure, yeah. Hey, yo, Chris.
Yeah. Yo,
Chris,
what's going on?
you
What's
back
going
from
Uh,
on, man?
you back from the streets?
Man, yeah.
What's going on,
Uh,
bro?
what's up? What y'all talking about?
You right here, bro. You know what we
Talking
talking
about
about. Why you playing
Luffy
like you
picking up
wasn't here all
fruit.
this time? Like you on a real One Piece fan. You know you was beat at this shit on time.
Man, I've been tired,
Chris,
man.
I tired of you fronting, bro. You
What you
gone
mean?
you gone hide from the world that you's a One Piece fan. You love cartoons.
Man, I'm tuned in, man. I don't know what's going on in that series anymore, man.
Huh? You been keeping
I
up
don't
with
know
One
what's,
Piece?
I don't know what's going on no more. I've been keeping up.
That's when real life hitting you. That's when them bills licking you in your head. You understand? You don't even enjoy the chapter when your light bill is over a grand. Your
Nah,
light bill is
No,
your light bill is 1,053. The title chapter.
nah, but
Jesus.
I know Sean playing, but that's some real shit. When you go into some real life stuff,
Bro,
and
when
the
you
One
getting
Piece
them
character
people
is just like,
licking
yo,
you in
you ain't
your
like that,
head
you
and
don't
shit,
give a fuck.
and them shifts killing you out, you don't enjoy them chapters.
man, I've been grinding too, so I ain't been
Uh,
getting a lot of
I mean,
sleep.
Yeah, paper.
I still enjoy all the chapters.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm caught up though. I know what's going on.
All right, so what do you think about I guess the conclusion of Luffy and Kaido? Like, were you satisfied with that punch
Yeah,
in the end, or basically
no,
everything?
no, because I
Fuck
just
that
felt
shit.
like I feel like Oda just like figure out that last minute he was running out of time and just
Mm.
start wrapping everything up. That
Fuck that
it's
shit.
like everything seems so incomplete to me. I'm not
I mean,
satisfied with like, almost. I just not satisfied. I don't know how to really explain it. Like
I
none
surprised,
of the
bro.
deaths, none of the deaths in Wano hit me. I
I
didn't care about any of the scabbards.
I, I
Um,
surprised because normally I want to hear what Wonder think, bro. Cause you know this is peak
no,
fiction.
no
Wonder
Wonder
already
loving
knew
this.
it up.
Wonder
Wonder
ain't
loving
like
you
this.
know
this.
what Wonder's
You're
doing.
gonna love
Come
it.
on, man.
No,
Like,
Wonder's
you know
loving
what
this.
Wonder
Wonder's
does,
loving
man.
this.
That I
Like
know
he
that for sure. This nigga is a fine boy to the highest order. Like real
Wonder
talk.
loving this. Wonder has no complaints.
Wonder wrote like a 5-page essay on how Luffy beating Kaido with a punch was so poetic and beautiful, and how it was so methodical from Oda and
Yo, did
everything. This nigga I was like, yo, Oda, yo, Wonder love. Like,
Bro,
I was at one point, I'm like, this nigga will never hate
I
anything
don't
that
know,
Oda
bro.
does.
I honestly feel like Wonder'll give up his ass to Oda, bro. Like real talk.
Nah, Wonder
Like,
is twisting to this, man. Yo,
there's some gay shit, bro.
man, stop it. Wonder
Oh
is
my
twisting
god.
to this, man.
No, bro.
nah,
But
but
There's some sissy shit,
nah, I'm
bro.
kind of like Wonder though. Nah, but I'm kind of like Wonder on one aspect though. Something like he always says, and I agree with that, which is the expectations of fans and like
yeah,
the way that those
I,
expectations don't play out. So I'm full on with Wonder on that aspect. So he doesn't go into a lot of these things with like a lot of these sort of
I agree.
you
I agree,
know.
but the thing is, I didn't go into it with anything. It just felt like I don't know. It just felt like it didn't hit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't let these niggas trick you. I went in with expectations because nigga hype up
I got
Wano.
an argument for that.
Don't let
I've been
these
waiting for
dudes trick
somebody to come
you
up
and
with an
try to
argument. I got
sound
something for that shit.
so complex.
Nah,
Like,
why
yeah,
And,
you know about what people
and I
think though?
definitely
Why
and
you?
you're right, Sean.
bro, it's
You're right,
okay to
Sean.
have expectation. Don't mind these fine boys.
You're right,
No,
Sean.
but
I definitely had a level of expectations.
bro.
Also, I do hate that argument
You don't
that
go to a
no, if you
chapter.
think you're
This
going
this
in with
shit. This
nah,
shit.
and you're right, Sean.
Bro, it's
You're right,
okay
Sean.
to
no, but I think you kind of you're not understanding it the right way. I think it's not that the expectations themselves. Like for example, I have expectations of Dragon being the strongest character in the series. Like that's an expectation by definition. What I
Mhm.
mean is that whenever these expectations so don't play out the way that you have them, don't let that sort of sully the way that you view the story itself. You have to understand that these were expectations and
Here's
there
the
were things that could
problem,
happen,
Anima.
but don't
Here's the
necessarily.
problem. You guys
Time
come
out.
on here talking about Ichiro Oda like he ain't that dude. Like
Sound
he
like
ain't that
Hold
dude.
on. Time out. Time out. Time out.
You
Time
guys
out.
don't
Time
know nothing
out.
about
Time
literature.
out. Time out. Expectations are usually set by the person who is presenting them. If
Exactly.
anybody watches
To a
basketball
degree.
and you know of Steph Curry, right?
Yep.
You know Steph Curry is good at doing what? Doing 3-point shots, right?
Correct.
That's what he's been doing for a very long time. Like Oda has been writing this story for a very long time.
Long time.
If Steph Curry comes to the finals or whatever game, and this nigga is shooting air balls, missing shots, bouncing off the rim, you know what the fans are gonna do to Steph Curry? They're gonna be like, nigga, your game was trash. You played like shit.
Because
Mind
he
you,
didn't live up to expectations.
the expectation. Now, if you're talking about a regular nigga on the street
Oh,
missing ball shots,
okay.
we're not gonna say he's trash. We're gonna say like, yo, you just like everybody
Bro,
else.
and you gotta
But
look at it like this too. This what the
No,
fine
wait,
no,
boys
no.
is this what the fine boys was
Okay.
telling me. They was
I know what
telling
I'm say
me,
about that.
they was telling me, Sean, you unreasonable. Wait, just give me patience. All type of shit like that, right? This
Mm-hmm.
chapter, they telling me the payoff. Okay, this 100 and something chapters. The payoff, just wait. Give Oda a chance. Just
Sean,
wait.
Sean, hold up. Before you get to, let me interrupt real quick. I hate that argument so much by fans talking about just wait. Man, the series almost over. I'm tired of waiting for stuff.
Real talk.
It's
They tell me just wait. Now that I wait and I still ain't satisfied, they telling me I need to wait till the anime come out. Like it's never nothing. Well,
right,
I
always
can't
something
dislike it.
different. Okay,
yeah, I hate that too.
I mean, well, okay, so I understand what you're saying with that.
let's be clear. Let's be clear. The whole entire issue, which people have talked about before ad nauseum, that people have with the ending of the finisher for Kaido, is Oda literally fucking said out of his own damn mouth that I'm not going to do something as boring as Luffy beating Kaido with a big ass punch. And then he did
Bro, you know the precedents, the bad
it.
precedents this
Again,
fight set? Bro, Blackbeard versus Luffy, Blackbeard might just drown. That's the type of bad writing and shit this is. You
Sean, I've been
understand?
saying that for years.
bad writing, my goodness. Okay, so I want to touch upon what Bruce said with the example with Steph Curry and expectations, right? So it is one thing to kind of have the expectation that Steph Curry is a really good 3-point shooter, but it is
Yes.
not when if he goes to the finals. I think, for example, what game 2 or whatnot, he wasn't really like the way he was game 3. I think it was a game 3 or
Hey,
game
Yeah,
4.
because they had him
we
in
Those
we
jail.
games where
we got
yeah,
15 more
exactly.
minutes before I go to bed. I
Yeah. So yeah, all right. So pretty much what I'm trying to say is that it is not like you should also have the mindset that it is not uncommon that there will be times where the expectation of him being the great shooter will will not
Fail.
it
Fact,
won't always play out the way it's supposed to play out,
facts.
right? Because
It's like,
that's the way things are. So it's,
But
it's the
what he
same
do
thing with
last night?
kind of situation, right?
But
Well,
what he do
exactly.
last
So
night?
well, so he played to our expectations of a great shooter or whatnot. But the whole
So you
point I'm
got
trying to say is that expectations don't always play out necessarily, and it doesn't take away from the actual story itself, right? Just because it didn't play out the way you set it out to be, and also, and this is actually a big part as well, there are expectations on both sides. Usually, there are multiple expectations. So let's say, for example, you have an expectation of a Steph Curry being one of the greatest shooters of all time. People even say the greatest, and then you also have like let's say, for example, he was playing against the greatest defense ever, right?
mhm.
There's expectation for that defense as well to be great. So you have two expectations kind of going together. One of them has to budge. So in
Yeah,
terms of the story, there's an expectation of sort of Luffy, or I guess a story playing on a specific way, but there are also other things that Oda has shown that kind of it could play out in that way as well. That is different from other expectations. But the whole thing is that just because it doesn't play out in one way doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad, right? You got to look at it from like a holistic thing. Okay, does this make sense per se? So to me, the only time that I would think it's bad is if it doesn't make sense. And I don't think there's something that has happened that just straight up doesn't make any sense at all. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, something can
See,
make
no, but
sense and be bad
the
though.
pushback on that, right? The pushback on that is we're gonna get a little bit raunchy now, right? We're gonna get a little bit raunchy.
Mhm.
If I tell a chick, right, like you ain't never been with a nigga like me, I got supreme dick, yo. When you get in a bed with me, I'm coming in gonna
Nigga
come like
say I got
15 pounds. I got like a 10-inch, like you finna feel it in your spine tingling down all kinds of shit. I'm hyping her up, right? Like I'm not gonna give you no 1 minute man type of shit. I'm a real nigga. I'm doing all that shit. Does this kind of sound familiar to you? What was happening with the narration and what Oda was telling us ahead of time? Like, yo, Wano's gonna be it. And then when I get in the bedroom, I give her 30 seconds of some rabbit fast punching with my dick, and I go to sleep. And she
that.
like, what the fuck just happened here? Like
What
this man was telling me all this shit. I expected an extravaganza, and here this nigga, sorry ass nigga, is sleeping on my couch.
what
Get him the
Yeah,
fuck about my apartment.
you
yeah.
know what
Okay, so I would agree. Just real quick, Chris. Just
I expected
I would agree with that if it was that specific. You know what I'm saying? Like you were saying, it's not going to be 30 seconds. It's going to be like more than 5 minutes or whatnot. Or this is like it's 10 inches long. If Oda was
yeah.
given the specifics like that, then I would agree. Oda was saying it's going to be
But
great. It's going to
Oda
be
did
He,
for it.
he
Oda
did
did
give
give
us he said
specifics.
I'm not gonna finish it off with
Yeah,
some
he's not
stupid
gonna finish
one
the
punch.
on the
No, but
punch.
that was
Yeah.
literally that was the
Specifics.
only thing. Wait. So if people's issue is that Luffy finished Kaido with one punch, and if that's the issue, then okay, great. Then I don't
One
necessarily
part
have
of
an
it
issue.
though. Yeah.
But that's the point. The other parts, that's what I don't necessarily like. I'm not like with that.
But we just talking about that part. We're talking about the. Well, I mean, I don't know what Chris was. Man, Chris was going on some deeper shit. But the part that I was harped out was that finisher was dog shit. The nigga literally copy and pasted the dopamine fight.
Yeah, but I feel like it's just a finisher. Like that's such an insignificant. Honestly, my issues with the fight wasn't even the finisher. Like the finisher, like you already know Luffy is gonna win, right? So
No, but
like
it's
I don't,
how, bro.
I never
Yeah,
cared
but you
about it.
gotta do it. You
How?
gotta execute it
That's the only
well.
thing
No,
I need to
no,
see.
no. But the how, okay, the how is more than just the final punch, or is it is that it to y'all? Is it just the final punch? To me, I had
It's
issues with the fight,
Oh, it's more than
but
it's
it's
that.
the
more so the
emotion.
nah.
It's the
yeah,
determination. Let me give you an example, right? Because one of the greatest finishers that everybody loves is the infamous jet Gatling against Rob Lucci, right? When Luffy pummeled the fuck out of his ass, right?
Mhm.
So the point of it being a good finisher, right, leading up to it, was to lead up to it. Rob Lucci put that nigga on his ass, and Usopp had to motivate him to get up, right? And then Luffy gets up. They start scrapping. They start going like super hard, harder than they ever have. Him and Lucci are fighting to the death now, right? And Luffy might be getting an edge up. Lucci catches him slipping, hits him again with another Rio Kugan, right? And Luffy's like, oh shit, that's a third one he got hit with. This nigga's got blood all over his body. He's about to fall. He's falling over. He's falling. Oh shit. And then Luffy snaps back and catches himself. Then you see the look in his eyes, and he's just spitting up, coughing up blood. But the determination, he's like, no, nigga, like, I have to win this. He's not saying shit, but you know that's what he's thinking. Like, I gotta win this. I can't do this shit. And you get your the flashbacks and the montage of what people are saying, and then Luffy has to think about the shit. Then he does the jet Gatling, and then the way they slowed it down to where you see the punches and all kind of shit happening. Luffy screaming his fucking ass off, and just a whole bunch of shit, right? So it's a combination of the emotion, the dedication, the determination, and of course, obviously, the attack itself was pretty cool, right? So it was nice to see. Then we have the Kaido shit, to where again, copy and paste the Doflamingo, and the nigga says like, "Well, do you really? What kind of world do you see Wano being?" And it's like, yeah, I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah.
Let's not forget
Okay,
that.
so
Let's
I mean,
not
so
forget that
I
punch lasted for like 3 chapters. By the way,
Which punch?
made it even worse.
the
Like
final
Luffy
punch.
starting the punch, it started at like 9:47, and then Luffy finally hits it 3 chapters later.
That's
That's
like a
that's
Dragon
part
Ball
of
Z.
the issue I have.
You talking about
Both go.
the what's this thing called, the barrage Brang gun, whatever?
Ranjan Gun or yeah,
Yeah,
that shit.
Monkey
That
got
was
gun.
another thing where like a finisher. I mean, it's
I
just
don't know
Oda
though.
could
It's
have
like,
no,
yeah.
bro. It's just wasn't satisfying. Was what it
Okay,
was.
okay, okay. So again, if you're saying it's lackluster, like the finisher for sure, I'm not a
Not the
fan of it. Like
finisher, but like the
I like it.
execution of how Kaido was defeated.
Yes,
It
everything
was
His finisher
surrounding it,
was his
the
it,
finisher was
it
so
motivation, all
solid.
that kind of
I'm
shit. Like,
fine if Kaido got
I
if
was
Kaido got hit
expecting
like that,
Kaido to
but he
get
liked
up
to
from this shit.
exactly.
That's my
we
problem.
too.
yeah, that's how incomplete it was. I thought like, okay, Luffy gonna hit him with one more thing.
Well, that's why I
Yeah,
felt. That's why I
yeah.
felt
Like
I
about
think
that's
most of the fights.
a lot of the
That's the thing,
fights.
bro.
Yeah,
yeah.
like
I
when
think it was the same
Sanji
thing with
killed
the
dude, I
Katakuri
think
one.
yeah, when like Sanji killed Queen, I think a lot of people were saying, "Oh yeah, next chapter is gonna be." Or you know
Yeah,
that
Coming
dude,
back up.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
over.
Honestly, bro, if Oda didn't
Yeah,
know
that was
what
Yeah,
to
all
easy.
the
do,
fights was like that.
if
Wait,
Oda didn't
but
know
I don't
what to
think
do
people were doing that with
with
the.
Kaido, he could have just had them finish like Z, like in film Z. Just punch it out and tell niggas can't
Yeah,
stand up no more. I'd even rather that than
yeah,
this.
that's
yeah. Or
No,
the
but
other
I
thing
kind of feel
was,
like he did this on purpose so that they wouldn't get up, right? Because I feel like they probably could have gotten up, but the fact that they were thrown out of the whole island was
and that
the
was
reason
fine.
why. It
That,
is more like a fall from grace
what
for
happened. What happened to them in the 7 days? W- like,
I don't
He was still boiling in the
So,
like,
mud,
guy,
wait,
man.
like we know they're not dead though.
wait,
Also,
wait.
yeah.
So on the
They're not
expectation
dead.
thing,
They're
right?
not dead.
On the expectation thing, with this Gear 5 shit, we literally saw this nigga grab lightning and throw it at this nigga.
Yeah, crazy.
So yeah, so when we have people who are expecting this big grand finale, we saw Luffy take his arms and poke out Kaido's eyeballs and launch himself out of his mouth. We saw him jump over Kaido. We saw
he
him
was doing
do
some
a bunch
crazy
of
stuff,
zany
Yeah,
new
like
shit. So
punching
when
through his
when
skull.
when Oda
Yeah, it doesn't seem
when
like that affects. It doesn't seem like that affects anyone though. Like
Yeah,
it doesn't do
what
any
the
negative.
rubber thing.
Yeah, it seems like it's just most like a
like a
Uh,
people are
it
yeah.
taken
it
aback
does.
by it. Like it doesn't physically hurt them. Or maybe it's just Kaido. I mean, it could be the case that it's just Kaido.
It might be in Kaido's case in particular because remember he has dragon skills. So when Luffy turns it into rubber, he's like
oh,
negating those dragon skills and making it soft.
go right past it.
Yeah, he's doing more damage by removing the effectiveness of his skills.
I would even rather if
Going back
Luffy
to
to finish the dude. I would rather if Luffy to finish the dude in that giant Nika form thing. That'd have been
Oh yeah, when he was doing
that
acceptable.
would have been so cool, bro. Like thing is
Wait,
Oda.
but he kind of did though, right? He just turned his arms into the Nika thing.
He wasn't Nika
Yeah,
when he finished him.
yeah, it
Well, but
was.
his arms.
I thought he was in regular Gear 4.
No, that was
He
Gear
was in
5.
that
no,
was
that was
Gear
Gear
5.
5. He didn't come
Bro,
out of Gear 5 till
that's
after
how
the fight.
uninvested in
That was
Wano
Gear
I
5,
is.
man.
Y'all have to remind me of that.
Thing is, Oda introduced Gear 5 as this creative ability. Like he was doing things that he was never doing before, only to end the fight with a
Gear
stereo
3rd.
version of Gear 3rd.
And yeah,
Come on.
and it's yeah. That was now to kind of go with what Sean was saying. The thing is with Gear 5, which is about to be a compliment and a negative thing at the same time, is Gear 5 is the one size fits all gear to where all the other gears that we've seen him do, he can do whatever he wants, right? At the drop of a dime. Now that's why you thought it was a Gear Fourth punch because he coiled up his arm like he does for Gear Fourth. But
Yeah, yeah.
in Gear 5, he can do all the
Exactly.
forms. No, like with easy. He did Gear 3, he did Gear 4, he did Gear Second, he did all the forms. It don't matter with him. But there comes the point of why the fight was lackluster in the end because like you can do all this shit, and the only thing you do is copy and paste it. Don't make a fight.
Yeah, you have. I
Yeah.
see what you're saying. You have
There's no
unlimited
way to do it.
access to
Exactly.
abilities. You could
That's
even.
just one part of it.
I wouldn't even be mad if Luffy to just set his fist on fire and shit and bring it down. Something different, bro. Like
Immediate
Wait,
strength.
he did that
Again,
with the lightning though. You know what I'm saying? Like he does stuff like that, and
What
I
the
think
light.
then in
it,
his head,
I mean, imagine
in
if he
his
put the lighting on his fist with that. Do something. Man.
he could do that now. Like nowadays, he literally could do pretty much almost anything that has to do with rubber or anything like that, right? Negation of
Now
Yeah,
all
Luffy,
yeah.
any
what
kind of
Luffy
ability
is
like
a top 3 character now.
Yeah.
Yeah, is he top 3 or top 5?
Yeah,
okay,
well, top
so
not
I
top
still think
three, but
Kaido is
top
a little bit
top 10, top 10, top 5.
I still have
Top
Kaido
10, top 5.
stronger than him though. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Kaido's
of
still
course, of course,
stronger.
of
you
Like,
course.
can't
We
put
can't
we
Luffy
gotta
forget
above Kaido.
what kind of thought.
we can't forget all the shit that happened before,
Yeah,
bro.
Kaido
yeah.
feats in Wano is ridiculous. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Kaido gets back up. Okay, so if a fresh Luffy and fresh Kaido go at it right now, like how difficult would it be for Kaido to kind of pin
high
down
div to
Luffy?
extreme.
Yeah.
Too extreme.
Extreme.
What's crazy was like Kaido was so strong to me in Wano. I thought at first Oda made him too strong. I ain't gonna hold you up.
Honestly, he kind of did it at first, but then I guess the Nika thing it kind of negates everything. You can literally do
Yeah,
anything.
Yeah, but
yeah,
Kaido was competing with Nika. Kaido was outdoing Nika.
yeah,
Exact. Yeah, I remember the chapter
Because
before, like
Luffy
the
was
actual fight
talking about the
happened, and
dodo
people were,
bird.
yeah. He
yeah,
was. Once he started getting used to it, yep, he
He
started.
just had to
Yeah,
get
because
yeah,
past that shock value.
yeah. I think people were saying
What?
that. Oh, is Luffy gonna dominate Kaido after going into this form?
But
But I
wait,
like the fact that Oda didn't do it that way because it made it
but
still competitive.
here's the
yeah,
ill thing about Gear 5. Did you see how many hits Luffy was taking and just
Oh,
keep
that's
coming
another
back?
thing. Yeah,
yeah.
That was
That's one thing I'm
fucking
confused at how
insane.
that
That's
works.
because it's
And
hard.
honestly,
Once it's hard beating fast, it's like he don't feel shit. Like it may
Yeah,
yeah,
it
No,
and honestly,
yo,
I'm kind
yo,
of scared about how. Or, I'm not sure if scared is the right word, but I'm worried about how this is gonna be in the future. Because
oh,
if it's
Luffy
the case
dying.
that he's just not feeling anything, well, I
Luffy
mean,
gonna
he
die.
keeps dying, but it's more so it's gonna
no,
make
because
fighting a lot
I
exciting.
feel like Luffy that shit Oda didn't reveal it yet, but his Nika form have to have a weakness, and I feel like
Oh, it has to.
the weakness is the
it's
yeah,
the
heart.
last
Like
one.
drums.
the
The
drums. Like
drums. That's the heartbeat,
if you
dude.
could target him in between an interval of them hard beating, you probably could hurt him. But it's hard moving so fast that you would need stupid observation to hit him at the right time. Because his thing of
He
his
could
heart
have
is
like
almost like an
intervals.
engine, a motor, just
he,
like that.
he was out
Well,
with
he needs to
7 days
target
this
him.
time.
Isn't the heart
He's out
always
for
weak?
7 days.
Huh?
How long was he out in Alabasta? Was it a week too or weeks?
I don't know.
I forget actually.
Wait, how
I don't
long
know.
was Zoro out,
Zoro
after
was out. They
Thriller
were
Bark?
both out for 7 days actually.
Hmm.
Oh, Triller Bark. I forget. I don't know.
Zoro was so badly out, we
And
thought he was dead.
it would have been
Even back
cooler.
then.
It would have been cooler to me if order to bring Green Bull in a day after, like day 2 or day 3, when these niggas wasn't fully healed.
Yeah,
It would have
Yeah,
been
yeah, for
more of
sure.
a
Wait,
Would have made the situation a lot more tense
yep.
because no
yeah.
one's at full HP and there's like a admiral just coming in.
is he even?
Every-
Well,
Sakazuki was telling him not to
well,
do anything, so it don't even feel like he's here to fight.
Nah, I
This
but
don't
you know
nigga
think
what
so.
for
somebody
real.
brought up?
This
You know what
nigga
somebody brought up
ability
to my
about to
attention
be
that I completely
annoyed,
forgot?
resilient.
I was so brought to my attention was, and I felt like Luffy in this moment. Y'all remember what was it around like close to the Water 7 arc right before it, where we first meet Aokiji and
Mhm.
Luffy is telling like, "Yo, guys, get away from him. He's a marine. He's a bad guy." And the civilians like, "Nigga, what?" Like, of course he's a Marine. That's a good guy. I felt like that because I'm seeing Green Bull, and my first thing is like, yo, this nigga gonna try to take over Wano. He gonna try and fight all kind of shit like that, and he gonna get his ass whooped. But then I'm thinking to myself like, wait, because somebody brought it to my attention, and they said like, yo, y'all know he's a good guy, right? Like the Marines are actually supposed to be the good guys. He's probably just there to talk. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, like
Well, but I don't think you have the same like feelings if it was like a unicorn. I don't think you think, oh, he's here. You know what I'm saying? It's just,
But you know what? Hold on. Akainu is a lot more reasonable than people give him credit for.
Yes,
well,
he is.
Actually, I think he's a
maybe
great.
nowadays,
I think he's a great fleet admiral. Actually, I always thought he was like that. I just thought he was in a war setting. And
didn't
no,
he
for real, I
kill?
just thought Marineford was a war setting. I thought he had to go through the
He was
extreme.
like bloodlusted in
Nigga
Marineford,
say
where he
you
had
trying to
red
flee.
eyes.
Honestly,
Nigga say you trying to flee from
honestly,
battle,
Yeah, because you got to think about it. You got to think
nigga.
about it. It's a war.
nah,
Like,
but I don't think
You
other
trying to
people
run
do
from
that.
battle, nigga? Talking about
look,
your wife at home? What type
Yeah,
of
like,
pride you have?
look. He's just a military dude. Like I feel him. Like we
He's
can't
very
put our life on
military.
the line.
Yeah,
What
he's
you
very
ready
Well,
military.
but
for? I,
in terms of his more like how reasonable he is, I think maybe he's probably mellowed down now
But when
after
you
his bout.
really when you really think about that shit, what that nigga
Yeah, I
do,
agree.
like running
I
from
know.
battle and shit, I agree with Sakazuki, bro. Because
yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree with him because he's a
Nah,
pussy.
yeah.
but to kill
Because
him, though, to kill him, I mean, just at least put him in jail, right? Do what they do now, just put him in
Yeah,
jail
now
where
what
tried him.
Sakazuki did was a bit extra. You
But
killed a
by
nigga,
leaving
dude.
your position, you're essentially killing other people.
yeah. Like
Are you?
War.
Are you? Hey,
I,
I don't
Yeah,
know
in
about that.
war,
my
yeah.
thing is this.
If he was a squadron captain and he had to lead like people, would like his team would essentially die because there's no coordination, especially in war.
I'm pretty sure
I,
unless someone else can step. I understand where you
I,
guys are
I,
coming from, though. I'm not.
Damn,
I
you don't
think
just kill a
Sakazuki
nigga, bro.
always had a mellow side though,
I mean,
because him and
I mean,
Kizaru was like good friends even before they became Marines.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
I
but
thought,
he's mellowed down.
honestly, that's
he's
why
toned down a little bit now.
I feel like Bello Betty Devil Fruit is get no. It should get more credit than it is get. Like not in terms of 1v1, but in terms of what it
Like
could do
impact overall.
In a war, Sean.
in a war,
Yeah,
like a large scale war,
yeah.
because morale
hmm
is a huge thing, especially when you see a nigga head get blow off by magma. A normal person thinking, boy, let me get the fuck from around this dude. You understand? But 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 when you
it's so
get
funny to me.
but but that power is allow you motivation to run into them type of things.
Hold on before I don't know when Sean will leave. What do you think the newspaper gonna say about the Revolutionary Army? Because I know something's gonna be in it. We're gonna get some info on them.
I
Y'all
feel
think
like whatever happened to the Revolutionary Army they already been reported in the newspaper, so we can't get it from the newspaper no more.
we gonna find it
we
out though?
we
We
can
can
Because
find
find
it
out.
out. We could,
Greenbull
Sean,
do
remember
Greenbull is
Oh,
there.
Greenville can tell us. Greenville can. I
was
mean, real
coming,
quick.
and also Apu somehow got newspapers into Wano. But Sean, remember, we spent 2 weeks
I'll
in
that nigga who
Wano.
be sneaking cigarettes in the
That's
dark.
7 days.
Mm,
We have 3 weeks worth of knowledge that we don't know what happened in the outside world.
Yeah,
3 weeks
that's
is a lot of time in the One Piece world for something to happen.
we we gonna get some info dump and
Our info dump, crazy, bro.
and Blackbeard did something too.
Blackbeard
Them
did
five
something.
elders they had, you can tell they have concerns outside world a lot. I
Bro,
think
honestly, I feel like Sabo. To me, I feel like Sabo mission wasn't to rescue no Kuma dog. That wasn't a mission. That was a decide thing. What they decide after they see him in that
I think they saw
condition,
him, and then
they
yeah.
decide
they
that
now react.
whatever
Yeah.
Doflamingo wanted, that national treasure, that was probably the declaration of war against the world government.
Yeah, because I was
It was supposed to be a in and out type of mission where they steal the national treasure and they get out. But Kuma is the wrench what caused the mission to go on awry because Sabo
and
obviously couldn't handle that.
I agree
Yeah,
with you, Sean,
also,
because I would agree with you, Sean, because Sabo obviously would know that Kuma is already a government,
But
pet.
what we could really tell what happened at we know Cobra dead because Oda can sacrifice a sick dude. He ain't that's a
Yeah, he
no
did.
consequence. But the main thing, what who might be dead too is Kuma, because
Yeah, Kuma might be dead.
if you
I think
can't
Kuma
bring this
died,
dude back, it's best to kill him,
Hmm
and that's
bro. We
probably
also Sean, we also
why.
know he had that teleportation thing. I think he used that technique on them as a farewell, like to save
Oh,
them because
that's a good one.
yeah, to save them.
oh,
So and remember, Sean, you can't contact anyone once you're in those bubbles.
Mm.
Oh yeah, that's excellent.
damn.
I
That's an
personally think that's
excellent
what
point,
happened.
Pharaoh.
That's a very original
Kuma gave
theory.
his life to
No,
use those techniques
that
to
wait. That was that been along. That's true, you know.
No, yeah,
That's what I'm
that's an
saying,
excellent
bro.
point
That
because
is a very original theory.
I think
Somebody
they were
timestamp
getting
it.
overwhelmed.
no,
Then Kuma came in, used that technique that he used on the Straw Hats. And remember, that shit goes on for days.
7 days, I
Flying.
think.
Yeah.
What's the name
Wait,
said?
really?
Yeah, it
Goes
goes
for a
on for at
long
least a
time.
week. It's at
Wait,
least a
Yeah.
week you
So
stay in those bubbles. Yep.
oh, I thought it was instantaneous. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought it was like
it's not.
That was good.
It's
That was a
it's
good
They
probably
go
theory.
a
for
case where Kuma did probably, but I feel like the world government ain't that stupid. Where they would trust that Kuma fully thing. So Kuma might have a self-destruct feature on him. Well, if he would have fucking betrayed him, he would blow up or some shit like that.
But
And he
hey, hockey, man, willpower is
Mhm.
different.
you can't have willpower as a robot, bro.
Hey, he was human one
He's
time.
not human,
He
bro.
got willpower.
Yeah, I could,
Cyborg.
Sean, I agree, bro. I could see them doing that shit to where his willpower overrided the robotic system. I could definitely see Oda doing that shit.
Yeah, I can easily see that.
Bro, if the nigga make a whole mythology, then I could see anything. This nigga make a whole mythology. And niggas telling me this peak fiction.
But you hear how the Gorsei and even CP zeros talking like somebody stole something from them. That's how they keep behaving like
Right?
somebody
So
got away with
disappointed in
something.
CP0, you ain't even funny, bro.
Oh, I forgot they existed, bro. Till I actually
These
just mentioned them.
clowns.
They took a fat L. They lost the dude with the scarf and Maha.
Yeah, I mean,
Maha got
yeah.
mobbed.
No, but that dude with the scout, that dude with the scout is
He was
cool though. I ain't gonna lie. That dude is
Yeah, I
clean.
like it. He behaved. They said that's one of their best agents.
That
He
that
at
that
least
dude
he
is
That
completed
clean.
was
his
one of
mission.
the
dead
best
like a
agents.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
I just
Hey,
don't
he did
like
his
how he
mission,
just
bro.
going out like that, bro. You go out even if you was a bum, you go out swinging. Don't let no nigga just tee off on you like that.
He died though, like
At,
off
You just put
screen.
your
I
hand. That's a
mean,
bitch move,
at,
bro.
but you know
Wait,
what?
wait, didn't he come back to life? Wait,
I
do
kind
we
of learned
see?
something though. It don't seem like they got free will, man. He was jealous of Drake. Seemed like
hmm.
he was kind of
Yeah,
pissed
Oh
off.
Yeah, when they were talking, yeah.
Yeah.
Cause
It
yeah.
seemed like he was pissed off. They
CP0 is probably former slaves too, probably who get
yeah
beat into submission. Like they
yeah because he was talking like,
I'm
bro,
good.
I can't even
Kid,
I can't
yeah.
even go out the way. And that's why I think he died the way he died too. Like I think that was the one
CP0 is
time he
probably
got a
former.
Is
chance
he
to.
confirmed though? I don't think it's confirmed that he's
So
dead. I don't.
He's dead.
I don't
He's
think he
dead.
dead.
It's not confirmed that he's dead, but I look at it like this one. Hawkins got clapped. Uh,
He's dead.
Ezo got clapped. Ashra Doji got clapped. So I'm just like, all right.
Honestly, with
Look,
the Hawkins thing,
the
I don't believe that
wait.
until tomorrow or with the next time they talk about him. Otherwise,
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
not
know
gonna
about
believe.
Hawkins. Is Orochi dead?
I think
Like
he's
Are we
dead.
supposed to
he's
Yes.
another
disbelieve
one
that?
that I'm not sure.
And then another thing too. So what happened to all of these pirates? Like you telling me Queen, King, and all them got like what happened, man? Over 7
Happened to
days.
them. I mean,
They
it's
just
just so
fell to the
weird,
sea,
bro.
probably.
I mean,
They're in the Udon mines right now.
my thing is that's their territory.
And
Like
that
so,
king
we just
shit,
supposed to
that king fight, that was dumb too. That was very dumb.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Ken is probably just
Oh,
done. Like
I can take down my invincibility flame, so I could move faster, so you could hit. Like that's dumb, and that was never explained.
that's
This nigga
something.
just, I don't know. Japanese readers must see just, they must see just retarded, bro. They don't question nothing.
They about to get
They don't
they about
question
to get
nothing.
you out of here.
They just buy my Ichiroda, Ichiroda. That's all.
Yeah. Hey Sean, I see that somebody on Twitter say, it's only in the West here they complain about the writing and the
And we don't
chapters.
buy
There's like
shit. We don't buy shit.
Japanese
We have the
readers don't
most
have these
complaints.
problems. Somebody said Japanese readers don't have these problems. They never complain about anything.
Order.
They probably don't. They probably
They just happy for anything.
yeah. They different.
They have a
They're
different
definitely different.
mentality over there.
I don't know. There's
Yeah,
a lot of
well,
questions, man. I just feel like I don't know. I got a lot of questions, bro.
Remember, and
Wano.
guys, remember, there's the Big Mom pirates. Where did they go?
Yeah,
I
like
have no
7
fucking
days.
clue.
Are we supposed to believe
7
they stayed at
days.
that's
that
why I think
waterfall?
Big Mom is still
I
a
have no
uncle
clue.
because she has a crew. Like there's no
Remember,
way
they
she
have
lost
their Viver
info.
card, so they know if she's alive or not.
Look, hey, you know what's in that newspaper, right? We assume that the new Yonka is gonna be supposed to be kid-in-law. I don't even
Yeah.
believe that.
It
I don't
might
even
be
believe
somewhere.
that.
I
It
do.
might be a curveball. It might be a
Wait,
curveball.
hold on, wait. What do you mean by believe that? Like, you don't believe it's not in the newspaper, or you don't believe it yourself?
I don't really buy it because I don't buy that cruise, man. So, I don't.
They have
Oh,
no influence. You know what I'm saying? Like
From that standpoint, yeah, they don't deserve it yet. But I do believe they will actually be named the emperors in the newspaper.
I feel like
Like
Oda
The
can
thing is,
surprise
like
us with that though.
I think it's one. I think it's somebody else in there. I really do. I don't know. I feel like one of them at least gonna be there, but I don't know. I'm not 100%
I
sure.
think Kid is most likely, but I'm not sure about Law.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, and it is two of them did bring down a Yonko. It's not like one person.
Yeah.
brought down the
I
Yonko,
feel
so
like
that's
they
why
can
it
give
kind
that
of
to somebody else.
and I'm supposed to believe their crew's strong enough for the
I'm telling
Yonko
you,
crew now.
Buggy, man. Buggy is gonna be the uncle.
Fucking buggy, yo.
I mean,
Buggy
it's
escaped, by
kind
the
of been
way.
foreshadowed, though, right? It's
Depends on
been
what he
foreshadowed.
did.
Buggy definitely escaped too.
Oh
Depends
yeah,
on what he did. Like after me, yeah. There's a lot of things going on, bro.
Dang, it's like, man. So
but
The
Luffy
I
only
think
thing
Mihawk.
I
like
will say when it comes to Kid and Law being the emperors, and I had this conversation with Sean, whereas no, I don't believe like strength wise on a real service level, do they deserve it? No, I don't think they deserve it strength wise because their crews is dick, and they need to kind of get strong themselves too. But I
yeah,
will say this: when I look at the world aspect of One Piece, right?
yeah.
Let's say Big Mom and Kaido are really dead. I don't know if they are, but let's just
Mhm,
pretend that they're dead, right? That's
mhm,
it, right? Okay, when I think about who would I put to go against Law's crew and Kid's crew, who could win, right? So we got
mhm,
the Straw Hats, we got the red haired pirates, and we got the black haired pirates. I
mhm.
mean the black pirates, sorry. And that's it.
Yeah, that's
well,
true.
and Big
Nobody
Mom's
else
crew. What do you mean?
needs to take.
Wait, Big Mom have a whole carry? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Big
Say
Mom
what?
has her whole crew like available, and Katakuri is definitely someone that I can see improving strength wise to kind of match Kid and Law.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
Katakuri.
I look at it like this: German took out 10,000 on their shoulders by themselves. I don't know how much Luffy and them took out. Cracker
they
seemed
did
like
lose
he
a lot of
healed.
forces.
The Cracker seems like he heals slow as shit because that nigga still got bandages
No,
on. I
no,
don't
I,
know
I
how.
think the cover story time period is different from our time period though. To be fair.
I believe that
And
too.
then we got Smoothie dumbass who can't scale goddamn waterfall, so they're not looking too good.
Nah, but no one can scale the waterfall with somebody kicking you down all the time.
Yo,
But
Oh
even
come
the
like,
on
government
now,
said it
you
was
don't want
impossible to
my
get in. They said they couldn't get in.
yeah, the Marines are even not going in because of the territory itself, not even because anyone is there. Because I mean,
I
if it was
think
just flat land,
they, I think to Momonosuke's benefit, I
All right,
think
let's
the
get
fact
it.
that they have so much
I'll
myth
talk about
and
my
lore
boy. Like
around
a boy
Wano that
from
they don't even want
Brooklyn
to
was
try it
literally
works to
10
Momo's
cents.
benefit. Because when I
Talk
get
to
the
me.
whole entire, it's hard to scale Wano, but I'm like looking at the world government like, I think y'all can get there if y'all really wanted to. But I get it. Y'all think there's a bunch of Odins on there, so you don't want to try it. So you're like, fuck that.
Heck no,
Ginger,
they don't want
put
no war
some
on
out of
their
it.
hands
You know what I'm saying? I like
and
the
leave them
flavor of
open.
ginger. Like,
nah,
some
but
And it's
out
how
of
Yeah.
it.
like,
motherfuckers
I
they
think
they
there's
know
something
the
special
truth
about
about
that
what
opening the
Oh
borders.
shit. Oh shit. I almost forgot. Now I thought about it. Zunisha. What the fuck is Zunisha? Because apparently Zunisha is the whole key to opening the borders.
mm,
What was she gonna do?
I always thought she was going to defeat Kaido, but no, that's I'm joking.
Nah, but did you actually think Kaido could have taken on Zunisha?
I
Like
always
on
thought
a
he was gonna get hit by
Yeah,
the
I don't
trunk and
destroy
survive.
Zunisha. Zunisha almost died at Jock. Couple cannonball.
nah.
No,
I
no,
was
I think
gonna.
I think
But
Zonisha
honestly,
trunk could take out almost anybody.
I thought Dragon was
Zoroark
gonna be
would
on
be the one I
Zunisha
would
Bark
put.
though. Like real talk.
This nigga third dragon
Zoroark.
anyway.
Shaw, you think Dragon is still sweating a couple weeks later?
Hmm?
Think he's you think Dragon still got that
And people
concerned
is
look on his face?
overblow that sweat and shit though. That only mean nigga care, but it's subordinates. Like you what the nigga
Hey,
supposed to do?
I know. I don't know, man. Some of them cats be just looking stoic, like they don't even care. Yeah, I feel you.
Like
Dragon got to prove himself, bro. This man is not doing anything.
So where y'all
Yeah.
think Shank's sitting at? Because he on some random island right now.
Okay, so
Obviously.
Shanks
Shanks.
probably gonna think, okay, Luffy, I think it's time for us to meet now. So
He
I tell
better
you,
go
we
get
can
that
get
lick.
we
that
can get a
was
pirate.
You know?
We can get a chapter we call the Great Pirate Monkey D. Luffy. That's where we can see Shanks.
The
Yeah,
great
we ain't
pirate
get that
boy.
clapped yet. I
yeah.
don't know.
So apparently niggas are gonna start calling Luffy Joy Boy now, that's gonna be interesting.
The
No,
next
they
chapter
ain't
gonna be
call him
crazy
Joy
though.
Boy unless in the Nika form, I guess. I think that
Like
different.
At the very least in Wano, if nowhere
that
else.
Nika thing is also important because like Goro said, they're not saying Joy Boy, they're saying Nika. Said he made
Yeah,
an reappearance.
So
yeah.
Yeah, so
go
Joe
ahead.
Boy is even like the girls here are more worried about Nika than Joy Boy, even though I think they're
Joy
the
Boy.
same thing. Yeah,
So here's my whole entire thought about the Nika thing, right? There's three levels to this. You have Nika, you have Binks, who I think is the first Joy Boy, and then you have well not first, but second, and then you have Luffy, right? So I think Nika, right, as Sean hates and I kind of don't like either was this random thing that Oda just came up with to where he's the warrior of liberation that existed at one point in time in life, right? He was the original progenitor hero slash protagonist of the whole entire series, right? And then I don't know what the hell happened. He learned how to turn himself into a devil fruit. I'm spitballing here, right? And then years later, somebody named Binks found a fruit based off of the legendary hero, which was Nika, right? And then 800 years later, 800 years later, somebody else finds a fruit based off of the legendary powers of Nika. So I think when they talk about Joy Boy, right, the original connotation is to Nika, right? Because Nika in Japanese literally else finds a fruit based off shit, right?
Yeah.
Nika was the original goofy ass nigga, the Joy Boy, who the legend and the mythos is all about. And then this will of Nika keeps resurfacing again. So I think that's why they're more concerned about Nika in this sense, because it's him who started this whole situation. And I don't know how long that was.
Wait, so who's Binks? I mean, did I just miss that? I feel like I
Oh,
just
Binks.
dropped something.
So that's my little personal thing that I got from Library of Ohara, to where he thinks the original Joy Boy, or not the original Joy Boy, but the Joy Boy from 800 years ago, right? Who left the One Piece treasure? He thinks his real name is Binks, as in Binks Sake.
That the tale, that music, that Brooke.
Oh, wait, so that means Nika is even before that, dude.
Yes.
Might
Like it's
be,
Nika,
might be.
Binks, and then Luffy.
Yo,
Sake.
yo,
You know what?
The tale,
How
that
many years are
music,
5
that
elders?
Brooke.
Oh,
yo.
wait, so that means Nika is even before that, dude.
I originally thought they were
Yes.
from the Void
Might
Century.
Like it's
be.
Nika,
Yeah,
I
I'm
thought they
sorry.
were too. That conversation kind of threw me off to make me think they're younger.
Yeah, that's what it threw me off. Like maybe they're descendants of the people from
I think more than likely descendants. I think the person that's truly immortal is Im.
Emu.
Yeah, Emo.
I believe that.
But
They
did y'all
seem.
know? Oh, sorry.
Is it a her or he?
Oh,
I think it looks like her, but
looks
wait,
like
but
her, but
This is
Actually,
One
I don't
Piece.
know.
It's so hard to tell now.
Actually, I don't
yeah.
know.
But wait, but some of the Goroseis look really, really young. Well,
Yeah,
long-haired one.
the Sanji died one. So was he even there during the Void Century? Like, I'm not the Void Century. The Rocks incident.
I don't know.
No,
I assume they go that far back.
But he seems very like he doesn't look older than Garp, for example, right? Was he still a Gorosei back then? I mean, at least like
too. And
like
how did they
100.
get those promotions? And
I,
what?
I, I,
You're right.
Did mention that the
let me,
Gorosei are the highest ranking.
let me ask you,
celestial
y'all,
dragon.
what the Gorosei is celestial dragons, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're the highest ranking
So
ones.
what would happen? Because I noticed, I was thinking about, because y'all it was saying like what dragon do to get his position, and I was noticing like you have a young Gorosei. That means that nigga replace somebody who was originally dumb. And I was thinking, what if nigga kill one of the Gorosei, one of the five elders, the niggas who's make the bounties, and they like fuck this nigga. He's the most wanted man.
Yo,
That's
plausible.
That'd be a hell of a feat, though.
That's plausible because I always thought this. I figured it was always strong celestial
And
dragons.
I don't know if
and they
if
fit the bill.
Gorosei passed down by lineage, so that could be the yellow thing like daddy or something. And then this
Yo,
I sure.
Possible. Wait, but okay, then going on the same kind of trajectory. So how long ago was Robin's sort of entire island, the O'Hara?
24
How
years
long
ago.
ago?
Was
Okay,
that
so
24?
24 years ago, and then how old did the one Gorosei that spoke to the Marine to kill
We
everyone?
saw the
How
blonde
old
one
did
in
he
that
think he was?
We saw
flashback.
all of them. They were alive. They were
Okay, so
alive.
he was
all of
also
them were there.
yeah.
The,
Okay,
Yeah.
so all of them were there.
we
And
didn't see the
24 years ago.
blonde one.
Okay, so we
Let
didn't
me
see.
see. Gorosei.
I
We
gotta
did.
go back to that
We
scene.
didn't
It's
see
been
the
a while
blonde one.
since I
We saw
watched
the
it.
one with the goatee.
I remember the oldest ones, but I don't
Yeah,
remember the blonde one.
but they look exactly the same as they do now, don't they?
Yeah, they do. That's why I
Yeah,
asked
so
the
And
question.
that's the confusion that everybody's having to where, like, okay, maybe they're not. Cause we all thought well, yeah, we all theorize or just headcanon. We
Mhm.
all headcanon that they were void century age and stuff. But then upon this conversation of the Hito Nico fruit, it's like, okay, they're not void century age, but at the same time, maybe they're also not regular age either. So like maybe they're like, I don't know, let's say 300 years old, maybe.
Yeah, which I mean,
So they just
that's
grow very slowly, but
that.
they still grow. Like they're not immortal, but
Yeah, that could be true too. Like Superman.
It's
Right.
Like
possible.
Or maybe y'all might like this theory. Maybe you rule as long as you can until like somebody else just usurps your position.
hmm, hmm.
Mm.
And
and
they
then
become
what you
the moral person. You know
To
what I
be
mean?
fair, I looking at this shit now with the arc name
What do you think
O'Hara.
is the key to
I
this?
looking at O'Hara, I see the silhouette of the blonde Gorosei.
Mm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I see the silhouette, but the silhouette that could be
Yeah, I see him. That's him. That's him.
Eh,
yeah,
Definitely.
but
what?
the old
So
one though, but the old one looks the same though, right? I'm not
so
checking right now.
so what y'all
Can't
think
really
happened to
see.
Rocks for real?
That's
Do
why
y'all
I
think
got
he's dead? Yeah,
he got
Rock.
killed.
he get rocked.
Stupid.
I just don't feel like he dead though. I don't know why.
That dude dead.
So,
Um,
so it's just like Roger and what do you call it, Tiki?
Why talk about him
Well,
so late in the
Tiki
story?
is alive, but Roger.
Because like his story is tied to Kaido's story. That's why we haven't somehow gotten some
I think
flashback.
it's throwing
Yeah.
more
What
child life in the
what
story.
exactly is Oda waiting for to reveal the
Yeah,
rocks thing?
exactly. So
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying. That's why I don't feel like he's. I
No,
don't
he
feel
make
like
maybe
no
he.
no no. He trying to make y'all niggas work fit. Y'all need to put in another 200 chapters. Y'all
Look,
look like
look.
y'all
I keep
want
look. I
easy
keep
stuff
telling
in
you,
life.
Sean. I keep telling you,
it
Sean.
was the con.
Folks waiting on Oda. A lot of people done kicked the bucket over these last few years,
Yeah.
waiting on
Yeah,
One Piece ending. Look, we ain't guaranteed to
Yeah.
see the end, so Oda better
yeah.
hurry up.
I more say from the rock standpoint of, and me and Sean have talked about this before, to where from a narrative standpoint, when we think about the ancient kingdom, we haven't met any of them yet, so we say, right? But the
Wipers
ancient
come back soon.
kingdom looks like the good guys, right? The ancient kingdom look like the good guys. The 20 kingdoms that usurped them look like the bad guys because of the
Hey,
world government.
hey, I go on bed. I got y'all niggas. I go on bed. Y'all niggas look like y'all ain't gonna win. We could easily run next Saturday because they be having a good
This is
chapter.
Sean is the funniest dude, man.
You
Just
gotta
This
get
nigga trying to take me into void
let
century shit, bro. I gotta stay into the day's One Piece topics. I can't
you
go into the
gotta
void century. I got
gotta
work
bring
in the
Today,
you up
morning.
next
Huh?
time. You gotta bring you up next time.
oh yeah, we gotta bring
That's
Wonder
the
next.
problem with you guys. All y'all think y'all know what y'all
Uh,
talking about.
one about to
Y'all
put y'all in your place.
hmm?
yeah, we know.
I'll
Talking
get
about
one.
that each road of greatness.
For
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, silly
bullshit.
man. Yeah, I see y'all in
See, bro,
2
but
months or
y'all
so.
don't know nothing but literature. Y'all just surface level niggas. But
The
later,
spoiler
y'all
is
like
gonna come out.
next
Given
week.
how
Hey,
crazy we
next
think
week
this
we can
chapter is
run at
gonna
the
be.
same. We can run at the same time next week because I know fire
For sure,
coming.
yeah.
I ain't even got a
Oh yeah.
guess.
Fire is coming. Yeah,
Fire coming.
100%.
Yeah, I'll be in that
Oh
one for
yeah,
sure.
So
I
I
Hey,
already
I
know
know.
revealed.
Yeah,
Hey, 3.25 billion for Luffy.
3.5 billion.
Wow.
I tell these
5 billion.
dudes it
Not
can
Five
beat a
billion.
3
somebody
billion.
said it's gonna say something. So let
5
me
billion.
go.
and I guarantee
Bruce, hey,
Blackbeard bounty
Bruce,
went up.
Bruce. Before
I
you
Yeah,
go,
guarantee.
just right above
explain to
title.
these niggas why Luffy Bounty can't be 5 billion right away like this.
I don't think it's gonna be 5 either, and I
Yeah,
think Blackbeard bounty is still higher than his.
it
Real
can't be
talk.
5 billion because if he gets 5 billion right now, right? Because the
Exactly.
main theory, which I love the theory that his final bounty is going to be the 5.6 billion, for Gomo Gomo, right?
Mhm.
Um, if he's at 5 billion right now, what's gonna happen when he beats Blackbeard and finds One Piece? You
Real
think it's
talk.
only gonna increase by
It-
another 600 million?
Real
I mean,
talk.
yeah,
Real
and
talk.
That
and I
no.
5-6 thing is like a theory though. It might not
and I think
necessarily
story
come true.
purposes. I think Blackbeard bounty is going. It's 2 something now. I think Blackbeard bounty either went up. I don't think
Pharaoh
he's gonna
Yeah,
stay
basically
at
tell you
$5
to
I think
stop with your
Blackbeard is
head
like four
cannon.
million more.
No, but think about it like this. So once he finishes Blackbeard and defeats the world government, there is no need for bounties anymore, right? So it doesn't really matter. And also, the higher your bounty goes up,
We see he beats the
the
world government. Yeah, that's two
okay,
different
okay,
things.
okay.
Bro, it
Yeah,
always
so
gonna be a
okay,
need
so
for bounty because Roger had a bounty, and Roger is the pirate king. Roger, come on.
no,
And even
no, but I'm saying that like the people who are putting the bounties aren't really gonna see him as a threat or anything like that. But that's not even the whole point. The whole point is that
He's a
once
threat.
you keep going up in like a bounty price, the harder it is to improve. Why is it that Kaido hasn't gone up beyond where he's at? Why is it that YBL only have 5 bill, even though 5 bill is a lot, by the way, mind you?
it's
Why is
hard.
Roger
It,
only that?
it's
Yeah,
hard
exactly. So they already see you as a threat. They already see you as one of the most threatening individuals in the
Mhm.
series. So she's not gonna improve that much. So if he goes up to 5 bill, they already see him as, especially if he's a young. There's no way he's
Jimmy
gonna go up.
Jimmy
But
already said when you reach like 500 mil, it's already hard enough to go up after that. So it's true.
Yeah, but
no,
also
they haven't moved up.
because again, like Farrah mentioned this, and I agree with that. So I think everyone Luffy has beat, he's kind of eclipsed them in sort of their bounty, right? So if that's
Not necessarily. So I look at it like the distant point. I'm gonna ask you a question here, Anima. For Doflamingo, right? If Doflamingo was not a warlord and an actual pirate doing crazy shit, because everybody knows how strong he is, but we know his bounty was frozen because of him being a warlord. What do you think Doflamingo's bounty would have been? Give or take.
probably like a first division commander, like Katakuri, or maybe
Like a
I think
billion,
less than that, to be honest. Maybe a little bit
billion
less
nine
than that.
hundred,
Yeah,
Thing is,
900
somewhere around there.
maybe. Yeah,
when they
maybe.
All right.
become warlords,
Okay.
it becomes frozen and they don't commit any more acts.
No. I know. That's why I was asking him. Like, if
Oh,
everyone knows
if
how
he,
strong Doflamingo was, but we know his bounty was capped because he was a warlord. So I was asking him
okay,
if Doflamingo stayed active, how
yeah,
much
he would
would it be
be
potentially based off of
first.
his strength and what we know about him, right? So
I
about
think it would be
900,
around category
900.
900
So around Cracker,
billion.
probably around Cracker, to be honest.
Okay. All right. So when Luffy beat Doflamingo, right, he only got 500.
Mm-hmm. That's all.
Yeah,
So
but I think that he would have eclipsed him, right? Doflamingo had no bounty, right? So I think Luffy would have eclipsed his bounty. But again, this is all just kind of
Wait,
theory here, right?
so why Oda ain't really build up Mihawk bounty then? Like he about to review all these other. What's
Well,
taking him
he's
so
about
long?
to get a
yeah,
bounty,
we'll get one. We'll see it.
and he's about to. It may be in the news actually.
Probably.
When if he the new
Yeah.
Yonko? But yeah, that's a different story for another day.
Oh, New York
You
is
know,
the new
Imagine
Yonko.
just one crew Yonko. That would be like
Yo,
a
that
time.
would be nuts, bro.
You never know.
Maybe
what
have
I
like
wonder
a
is,
swordsman.
He
Maybe
didn't go.
people are gonna, people talking about ZKK. It's gonna be like
Yeah,
Mihawk is
because
filling Zoro's,
truthfully, where did he go after he cut those Marines down? Because that's his home right there. So where did he
he's
go?
Chilling there.
probably
I don't
somewhere
think he
still
has to
sailing on a
move.
little boat ship cross, whatever.
Him and Shanks
Yeah.
got deeper connections to them higher ups, man. I think they're from royal families.
Yeah.
I stick
Oh,
to
there
that
you go.
theory.
You just answered one. Maybe he's hanging with Shanks.
Oh, that's possible.
They
That's
are
very
cool.
possible.
Yeah.
He know how to locate him. Possible.
He does, and that's
Yeah,
a good
but-
friend to him when the Marines are after you.
I can see that too.
Like
Very.
you don't want to get
Everything-
chased all the time.
Everything about him suspicious. He the leader of Sword. Y'all hear it here first.
Who, Mihawk?
Yeah, y'all heard it here
That'd be
first.
some shit. That'd be one of them. What do they call that when like the obvious thing is right in front of your face?
Yeah.
See a
Like, I
swordsman?
didn't see it.
The greatest swordsman?
Yeah.
Purpose
I was
outside of
laughing-
Zoro,
I
man. I
was
know he
laughing
do.
at that shit. If Mihawk was the leader of Sword, I'm like, wow.
People like, how we
One
missed
thing
it?
on your face the whole time.
Hey, you never know. We in the home stretch now, man.
Yeah. So I guess one final thing that I kind of wanted to touch on before I guess we end is
Mhm.
so we know that Green Bull is coming,
Okay.
and we know that Luffy and pretty much the rest of the cats can right now take him on. But outside of Luffy, how much like stress do you think people like Zoro and Sanji are giving him? Especially Zoro, because we know that I think there's a little bit of gap between him and Sanji.
Wait,
And I
repeat
feel
the
like
question. Are you saying like how well Zoro and Sanji would fare against a one-on-one with Ryokugu?
okay, so actually, so one on one with both of them, and then just combined together.
All right,
So,
come. No, go ahead.
go ahead, Chris. Go first.
No. No, go ahead. I'm still formulating my thoughts on that.
So for me, let me get this out the way real quick. If Sanji and Zoro tag team, he goes down. Like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Sanji and
Okay,
Zoro
but like,
tag team.
what's the difficulty then, though? Like, is it like an easy thing, like a high
No,
diff?
No,
Are they all hurt?
not easy. If they tag team him, I'm saying mid to high difficulty tag team.
Shit,
Probably
I
I'm
don't.
leaning more on
Okay.
high difficulty. High difficulty
Okay.
tag team. Solo, and here's the thing, I'm gonna slow this one down so y'all pay attention to what I say. I do not think Sanji can beat Ryokugu solo, right? Zoro, I do think can beat him solo in an extreme dip. I'm almost gonna die fight, and here's why, right? I do not think the admirals are all the same exact power level because I see them the same exact way as a pirate crew would be. To
I
where the
disagree.
fleet
I
admiral,
disagree. I completely
the fleet
disagree.
admiral, John, go to bed. The fleet admiral is the same thing as a Yonko captain, whatever, and then the three admirals are like the Yonko commanders, to where there's a first commander, second commander, and a third commander, right? It's just that the admirals are stronger than Yonko commanders. So I think the weakest admiral, which in my head canon, right, is Ryokuku. So I think the weakest admiral is as strong as the top commander. So if Zoro beat him, which he did, then you can take Greenmo. That's just my
Okay,
thought.
so I do
I'm
have
a,
some thoughts on that actually.
uh, if Sanji in a 1v1, both lose mid diff. A 2v1, they
Damn.
lose high diff. Yeah, because again, we still haven't seen the full strength of an admiral. And Akainu, and again, I think that all the admirals are relative. I don't think there's a hierarchy within these guys. They're all on a relative level, with Akainu being the highest and maybe Fujitora and Greenbull being at the lower spectrum, but it's not even that different in strength. If all of them fought, it would be a high extreme diff.
If
If
Fujitora
Akainu fought
versus
Greenbull,
See,
it
Kizaru
would be
see,
like
fight,
that's a,
that'd be a
extreme diff.
dead
see, that's the
bottom.
part I always disagree with admirals. If somebody fought, it's gonna be a definitive winner out of one of them. Like,
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
if they
definitive
fight
is
at
not the same
extreme
as like
difficulty, it don't matter. They the same level. They the same strength.
exactly. Yeah. So it's still definitive, but one of them will still come out
I,
of the battle
You
man,
the
can't
better.
tell
I'm
wait,
not
wait,
as
wait,
I'm not
wait.
as strong as
I
you
just it would
saying.
be
Hey,
I
hey,
don't think I 100%
Chris, you
agree
can't
with
tell
that.
me Akino and Aokiji ain't equals, bro. Even though Akino beat him. I mean in three
exactly.
times skip.
Hey, the man walked away
He
with all
did.
his limbs.
Well, all of
One of
them.
them didn't.
You gotta
I mean,
remember,
All of them
the
shits.
you gotta remember, if someone has like two people have the same stats and they say they're gonna fight each other, one of them is gonna win,
exactly.
regardless of
Yeah, but
who's gonna win, even though they have the same
well,
stats. It's like a
I'm gonna
coin
put it like
toss.
this. I think if they fought 10 times, I don't think Kuzan beat him none.
Wait,
I agree.
So I think
you
That's
don't
how I
think
look at it.
Kuzan wins a single
I
one?
think he's just flat out stronger.
But
I think they
Akino
fought 10 times.
Aokiji's
I
going
agree.
against a devil fruit weakness too.
Man, that don't matter with them top tiers
No,
no more, man.
we're not doing that now on this level,
No,
Sean.
because that man
I
has a whole ice. No, no, no.
Yeah, I don't think the weakness factors into it that much. In fact, I actually don't think it's a
no, but
weakness.
Not
To
at
be
this
honest.
level.
But yeah,
Akainu could be stronger, but it's
I
what
don't
he
know
used to beat him. Like, did he use 90% of his power? Did he use everything? That's
exactly.
what the
Yeah.
extreme. That's what the difficulty is. So if
Yeah.
Akainu, even though he's
I'm
stronger,
not doubting. I'm not doubting that it's difficult. I just think
yeah,
he's definitively stronger. I'm not doubting
stronger,
that it's going to take a while.
yeah. I don't think that was the
Okay,
issue.
yeah,
I
but
think
that's
people
fair
are,
though.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair
I think
actually.
the main thing.
I just
The
I just
main
think
thing
in
is
every
that like. the
No,
difference in power. Okay, go ahead.
yeah, the difference in power, I get that. Like, it's not. It's like you're right. It's not anything large or anything. Like, I just think in every
Yeah,
group, it's
There's
somebody
I don't
that.
think there's a big gap between them. It's like the straw hats. Like, let me use a perfect example here, right? Let's take what's the man's name? King and Kaido, right? Let's do a little test run. If King and Fido, I said King and Fido, Jesus, Kaido and King did a head up fade, how how what's the difficulty that Kaido beats King?
He's going down fast if Kaido goes hybrid.
Pretty fast, right? We
Yeah.
do we all agree?
Yeah.
I don't. Well, it depends on what you mean by fast. I don't think so. But because I
No,
feel
it's
like Zoro is grown.
fast, not fast. Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
just
I
Kaido
think
and
so.
King. We think that Kaido
He's
has
not.
to go all out to beat King.
No.
No.
Well,
All right, let's
I
do
mean,
another one. Let's do
not
another
like
one.
all out in the same way he did with Luffy, but like
Kaido's an
it's
animal,
above
man.
Yeah, put some effort.
it's
All right,
above
let's
a
do another one.
little. Yeah, it's
Let's
above
do
a
You
another
little.
have
one.
to put some effort.
Wait.
Yeah.
Let's do another one. Okay. Big Mom versus Katakuri.
Yeah, Big Mom
But
win that.
I really hate this, like, because I just don't like the way Oda has set up these young commanders to be. Obviously, Big Mom wins in the same way that Kaido wins against
All right.
Yeah,
King.
Now,
I'm kind of with you, Animal, on that aspect too.
wait. Now, wait for this. Now, wait for this. Right. Okay. Luffy versus Zoro.
Ask some folks, they would say the exact same thing as Kaido
Bro,
and King
Luffy
and Big Mom.
falling Zoro
I
right
don't
now.
think so.
You see,
Nah.
ask some
No.
folks,
See,
ask some
No.
folks, they'll say
believe
that.
No.
that.
You see, for me, I'm not
No.
like that. I actually think this is the exception to the rule. This is more
Me
Yeah.
so
too.
Roger and Ray Lee.
Yes.
I feel like Roger and Ray Lee, Roger wasn't folding Ray Lee
Thank
like
you.
that. It was going to
Talk
take an
about it,
extreme
Adam. Talk about it.
Yeah,
Bro,
Animal, I'm
and
with you on that.
hear me when I say this, bro. Luffy
Okay.
falling Zoro. I mean, I shouldn't say falling because I don't believe it's no extreme difficulty fight. You can't convince me of that. I believe it'll be a high
okay, so
difficulty fight.
it's not going to be,
You
it's not
see,
going to be
I
extreme
do.
diff, but it's going to be high.
I
you see,
think it's
that's the
mid
crazy
high.
thing.
Bro,
That's
that
the
shit.
It's
see,
not,
I do.
see, but that's the thing though.
it's not extreme.
Yeah.
It's not extreme. Like
It's
Luffy
not
isn't gonna
extreme, but
die here.
No, it's not
Once
extreme, but
Luffy,
it's high.
once Luffy goes Gear 5, it's over.
but Luffy ain't
No,
never really fought nobody of
No.
that
people
caliber.
No.
always
No.
underestimate like reaction speed from because he's definitely unpredictable and fast and all that. But Zoro has the attack potency, so anything that
You do.
touches Luffy is like is done for in a way, right?
Luffy has
Uh,
future sight, though.
The thing
That's
is, we
the
ain't seen Nika
no, but
against
Future
sharp
Sight is not
attacks
the
though.
end all be all, you know.
oh, no, it's not the end all be all. But when you have an ability like Katakuri's, for Katakuri, that was the end all be all. It's future sight.
No, but I don't.
He
Okay,
had
so do you actually think? So do you think Zoro is not touching Katakuri because Katakuri got future
oh
sight?
no,
Like
he's
I feel like
touching him, but he's gonna have a really hard time.
There
yeah.
it is.
So I just think that it's about
But I
reaction
think you
speed
can
and
see
attack
something
speed.
coming and don't stop it either. Katakuri
Exactly.
can see something. That's
So
all
let's
he
be
wants.
honest though.
You gotta be really
Yeah,
fast,
because
though. You
With
gotta be
Zoro's
But
really
attack
fast.
Zora,
potency
see, that's the
against a
thing
fight
though.
with
Zora
Katakuri,
attack power is
Zoro
very
only has
fast.
to hit Katakuri one time and the fight's over.
well,
It,
maybe. I mean, Zoro has enough like attack
Zoro
power.
hits
Zora
hard as a
tagged
bitch.
King like 3